earned runs against the Blue Jays. No decision.
His last time out in Chicago, 6 innings, 5 hits, only 1 earned run. He struck out 7 in that game and just walked 2. Lifetime against Detroit, 2-4, a 6.75 ERA, but here in Oakland, better. 1-1 with a 4.30 ERA. And lifetime coming into the season, because not much to go on so far this year, but righties hit him at a 295 clip. That's pretty high. But lefties only 236. But how does he do with runners in scoring position? 239 batting average against. So that tells you about something about the art of pitching and how he can set up hitters. So again, I think patience. Look for something off speed until you get 2 strikes on you. Then protect the old dish, Dan.
Very, very unusual, as Jim Leland pointed out on your show today, Jim, that the Tigers have not scored a run off the Oakland A's starters in 2 games. Brandon McCarthy was brilliant in the game last night, and yet they have come away with 2 wins in those 2 games. You won't see that very often, especially on the road.
Well, you looked at game 1, 11 walks, a couple of horrible errors, and then last night, I don't remember an extra inning game where a team fell apart like the A's did last night, making those horrible mistakes and on plays that, most of them weren't that difficult. They were a routine ground ball to play at third at
another routine.
Yeah, that roost through by the catcher. So I think there's a little mojo for the Tigers. You know, I like big mojo.
When you spot him, you always welcome him with open arms.
I have a good feeling about it now because of what happened the first game. And the game last night, it could have gone the other way very easily if it weren't for some good plays by Santiago. And, of course, the Adam balls have bailed out the Tigers also.
And isn't it amazing how that early play with men on base, it goes your way, like that Santiago double play to end the first. A ball that was crushed up the middle.
You're not kidding.
Really did turn the things around for Rick Porcello.
Absolutely.
Austin Jackson back in that leadoff spot. Good to see Maglio Ordonez back in the lineup in that number 3 spot. He is the DH tonight. Austin Jackson, the righty against the lefty. Dallas Braden, the first pitch is fouled to the screen right over the head of Ryan Rayburn in the on-deck circle. And we are underway at the Oakland Coliseum. 63 degrees under clear skies at the Oakland Coliseum. Couldn't draw it up a whole lot nicer. There's a strike, and Austin Jackson falls behind. No balls and 2 strikes. Game time weather conditions. Every day brought to you by York Heating and Air Conditioning. It's time to get comfortable. Boy, it seems like Jackson has faced an awful lot of 0-2 and 1-2 counts lately. There's a swing and a tapper fouled on the third base line, trying to get this bat going, and he seems to be behind in every at-bat.
Yeah, and, when you're struggling, that seems to happen. But working extra with the hitting coach and trying to get that timing down with the load up. You know, he loads up with the high leg kick, and you got to get that foot down, planted at the right time.
Now the 0-2 pitch from Braden, swinging a soft line drive that will be gloved by Barton. He was backpedaling along that first baseline and battling the sun. Jackson with a soft line drive. 1 up and 1 down. Today's first pitch at 6:08 local time. Brought to you by Sunoco. Visit your local Sunoco today.
Well, you got sawed off with that cutter.
Need to get that bat going.
Boy.
That brings up Ryan Rayburn. Been a little bit hot and cold. Some better swings lately. He was hitless in the game last night. 1 for 9 in the series. First pitch to Ryan is a strike.
Well, he's got a good history against this left-hander. 6 for 15 lifetime with a home run.
We saw it in game 1 with Gonzalez. Now another lefty, Dallas Braden. They both limit extra base hits. There's a swing and a miss. Ooh, there's that good change.
Boy, one of the best when it's right. Especially when he's got a decent fastball to go with it, and the breaking ball, which he worked a lot on to get better with the breaking ball. He needs that breaking ball to complement the other 2 pitches.
No balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2 to Rayburn. Fastball, strike 3 called. He froze him with a fastball. Strikeout number 1 for Braden.
Perfect pitch. Sitting brought to you by Comerica Bank. Find financial guidance at Comerica.com.
Tigers faced Dallas Braden. Justin Verlander was on the mound. It was his first home start after that perfect game last May. But there was a perception that he kind of tailed off after the perfect game, but he finished strong. Here's a ground ball to short, charging is Pennington. Fields it to the left of second base. Quick toss over to first. Maglio in his first at-bat in a while bounces out softly to short. We go to the bottom of the first inning. No score in Oakland. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. Bottom of the first. Tigers have taken the first two in this 4-game series. The A's now getting ready to face the 28-year-old native of Goochland, Virginia, Justin Verlander.
Big right-hander making his fourth start. Remember, no decision against the Yankees. Then he got a win against Baltimore. 8 innings, 4 hits, and 3 earned runs. Last time out, lost to Texas, but went 9. 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and a walk here at Oakland Alameda County Stadium. 2-3, 2.85 ERA lifetime. Last year, 1-1, 16 innings, 10 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and 13 strikeouts against the A's.
Coco Crisp has had some success against him, and he takes a strike on the outside corner, shortened up to bunt, pulled the bat back.
6 for 15, and you and I will never forget the first time we saw Verlander when Coco Crisp was in the Cleveland Indian uniform, turned around 100-mile fastball with a bullet.
Right over his head, if I remember.
Right over his head.
Pop up to shallow left. Rayburn comes in and makes the catch. 1 up and 1 down.
And I thought I saw Verlander time go, wow, that was 100 miles an hour. And he had a rifle shot right back through the middle.
Right back through it. Justin, his only start last year here was a complete game win over Dallas Braden and the A's, 5-1. What has really stood out in his last 2 starts, remember the high pitch count early against the Yankees on opening day in New York, and then he ended up going just 6. He's been very efficient with his pitches in his last 2 starts and has been able to go 8 and 9 innings. There's a strike on the outside corner.
Good call.
John Hirschbeck, the crew chief, behind the plate tonight. Wally Bell is at first. Laz Diaz at second, and Scott Berry is tonight's third base umpire. Barton 2 for 7 with a couple of walks in the series. Strike 1 pitch, swinging a pop foul out of play. We have not had to deal with the sunshine, or the outfielders haven't had to deal with the sunshine in the first 2 games of the 7 o'clock start. The 6 o'clock start means it can be an issue for those on the right side. Bosch in right, Santiago at second, Cabrera perhaps at first. Now Barton waiting. Curveball goes around the plate. Martinez was set up outside. Barton's hitting .292, no home runs, 3 RBIs.
Well, that's a Verlander. He can throw that curveball backdoor people, bring it down and in, change the pace of it in different breaks.
Drops the hands into his motion. 6'5" righty delivers. Curveball, strike 3 call. Barton thought it went around the plate. John Hirschbeck rings him up.
It was a dandy. That looked like one heck of a pitch. That's that curveball that comes up, and it's almost an optical illusion where you think it stops and goes straight down when you're in the batter's box. Another good call by the home plate umpire. That's good. Around the old dick.
That brings up David DeJesus. 3 hits in the game yesterday, 3 RBIs.
And he faced Verlander. 41 at-bats against Verlander, 11 base hits.
First pitch low and outside from Justin. Starts him off with a fastball away. DeJesus in the number 3 spot in Bob Guerin's lineup most days.
This offense has got a lot to be desired, I would say.
Kansas City didn't know quite where to put him. It seems like he settled into that number 2 spot nicely in the Kansas City lineup. There's a pitch outside because he's not really a base stealer, but he's going to make contact. He's going to put the ball in play and hit for average. But you don't picture him really as a number 3 hitter, but it shows you that Bob Guerin doesn't have a lot of options.
No, he doesn't.
Not a true number 3 hitter in this lineup. There's a strike on the outside corner, like this strike zone for John Hirschbeck.
So does Justin.
That was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner, just above the knees. Pitch speed brought to you by Comcast. Now the 2-1. Swinging a line drive over shortstop. It's going to drop into left field. Fielded on a couple of skips by Austin Jackson. That's what David DeJesus will do. He might not hit it hard all the time, but he puts it into the outfield and sprays line drives all over.
He's been doing it for some time.
That was just a little flare over shortstop. Man on, 2 outs. Scoreless game in the bottom of the first. Tigers scored 7 runs in the 10th inning, in case you weren't up and hanging in there with us in the wee hours of the morning.
That was one of the ugliest half innings by any team that I can ever remember in extra innings.
It was a fastball strike. Miguel Cabrera tied the game in the 9th inning, and the Tigers scored 7, so they went to the bottom of the 10th inning, leading by 7, 8-1. Most unusual. Josh Willingham is hitless in the series with a couple of walks. The 0-1 pitch is a strike on the outside corner.
Another good call. tell you, John Hirschbeck could be our player of the game. Keep it up.
He's calling that pitch to both right-handers and left-handed batters low and away. And it looks like it's off the plate. Quick toss over to first. DeJesus back with the head-first slide. He should not get picked off because he's not going to be stealing a base.
No.
Again, he's got some speed, but doesn't always put it to the best use on the base paths, and not a base-stealing threat. The 0-2 pitch, swinging a hot shot to third, scooped up by Inge. Down to Santiago for the force on DeJesus. Willingham hit it hard, but right to Brandon Inge for the third out. Tigers bat in the second inning. We're scoreless in Oakland. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. It's off. It's the second inning. No score. Tigers and Oakland A's. We've been saying that a lot in the early innings of these first two games. No score.
That's right. Pitching has been dominated. The starters have dominated, as we talked about.
Cabrera takes a pitch outside. Now the next pitch from Dallas Braden, who's working quickly, is a called strike. Now the windup in the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Miguel has not had the quality swings in this series for the most part. We've seen a lot of swings and misses, Jim, on what looked like hittable balls.
Yeah, it almost looks, and I don't think he does, like he's guessing sometimes and tardy or ahead of the pitch.
But when they needed him most,
baby,
he came up big last night. The home run off Brian Fuentes to tie the game in the ninth. Fastball off the plate inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. John Hirschbeck might be hearing it from that Oakland dugout right now.
Yes.
Braden works way over on the third base side of the rubber, glove in front of the face as he gets the sign, the quick step back, and then into his motion. There's a fastball inside. He brought it in, Jim, a couple of inches. And John Hirschbeck still says it's off the plate. It is very, very close, and it sure looks like a strike.
Sure does. That's a cutter, and big man laid off.
3-2 pitch in the dirt. He walked him. That was one of Dallas Braden's big improvement. He's not a big strikeout guy. He's averaged just over 5 strikeouts per 9 innings his last 2 years, and that's on the low side if you want to have long-term success. But what he's done in the last 2 years is cut his walks from 3 per 9 innings down to 2, and that's a big improvement. That's a big job of cutting the walks, and he was a very effective and consistent pitcher last year.
Well, the art of pitching, when he's right, is very strong.
Braden grew up in nearby Stockton, California, area that's been hard hit in these tough economic times. There's a pitch up and in, and he is a very active member of that community. He's got a section here named for the area code for Stockton, California, section 209, where all his friends and family sit down that right field line. You can see him down there.
That is awfully neat.
Sitting in the sunshine right now. There's a swing and a foul past the screen. You all remember the very emotional tribute to his grandmother who raised him after the perfect game on Mother's Day. It really was a neat moment in the 2010 season when he threw the 19th perfect game in Major League history.
It was pretty neat, pretty special, the way he handled it.
Very emotional celebration after for Dallas Braden. Tigers have their leadoff man on. Victor Martinez lines him down the left field line, hooking into the corner. That's going to be a fair ball. One hop up against the wall. Cabrera rounds second, heading to third. Martinez rounds first, and he'll cruise into second with a double to put runners at second and third. Nobody out here in the second.
That's a good swing. He was 0 for 8 until that base hit off of Braden, so he was awfully due. But that's one of the better swings he's made in the last couple of games. The fastball that stayed out over the plate. Boy, good swing, kept the head back, the barrel of the bat out in front, and the ball jumped off his bat.
Interesting to see, Jim, if the ball jumps at all any better with the sun out and a little bit of sunshine on the playing field before it goes down and definitely gets cooler.
I mean, you actually can feel it getting cooler by the minute here. It's an amazing thing.
Johnny Peralta bats and takes a strike on the inside corner. John Hirschbeck goes up with the right hand. Big opportunity for the Tigers. The A's will play their infield back. They'll give up the run for the out right here. Tigers have not scored off an Oakland starter in the first 2 games. There's a pitch low and in. 6 innings against Gio Gonzalez. 6 2/3 against Brandon McCarthy last night. remember that name, Brandon McCarthy. I'm sure he's familiar to most Tigers fans, but he'd kind of fallen off the radar. He's back in a big way.
Well,
there's a strike.
He continues pitching like that, he's going to beat a lot of people. A completely different arsenal.
Jim Leland very, very impressed. Meeting with the media, talking with you earlier today. It was a different arsenal, and it was one that's going to work against a lot of teams, you would think. There's a pitch that bounces up to home plate.
Yeah, you can take that arsenal against anybody. Live action, different pitches. And the game went on. The curveball became a real force for him, and then that made all the other pitches better.
So 2 games where the Tigers have seen big breaking balls
yes.
from Gonzalez and from McCarthy, and a lot of them.
A lot of swings, the balls bounced in the dirt.
Right-handed batter against the lefty. Peralta waiting on a 2-2 pitch from Dallas Braden in a scoreless game. On the way, breaking ball strike. Took a little off it. Peralta was frozen.
That is some pitch. A change-up breaking ball, and the motion was great. That ball looked like a floater, but had a little bit of late action on it, and absolutely froze Peralta. Don't forget, if you want to win a new BlackBerry, stop by a Wireless Giant location, get the keyword, then text it to 97136 to register. Well, you got to swing the bat in that with that situation.
That brings up the only lefty in the lineup against Dallas Braden. Brennan Bosch has gotten quite a few starts against lefties. Swinging a good bat, and he hangs in there against lefties. As we saw last night, there's a swing and a foul over the screen. Just a very, very impressive at-bat against Brian Fuentes.
Heading the count 0-2. Got a breaking ball down and in, and that was the old buggy whip last night.
Love the way he went down and got that ball, Jim. Didn't just drop the barrel of the bat on it. He went down and got
that's
it.
The Willie Horton famous buggy whip.
Drilled it into the corner, broke a 1-1 tie in the 10th inning. Tigers have runners at second and third, 1 out. He's got a chance to give his team the lead here in the second inning. Now swing and a miss. Fastball away from Bosch.
And Tardy. I would call this left-hander a little better than sneaky quick. It almost looks like he's throwing darts.
Bosch's double last night with the bases loaded came on an 0-2 pitch against a very tough lefty. And now he's down on the count, no balls, 2 strikes. He has been better in 2-strike counts in the early part of this year in 25 at-bats. The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball low and away. Bosch hit just 152 in almost 200 at-bats with 2 strikes last year. 6 for 25 so far this year, 240. Doesn't sound like much, but league average is right around 190. And he's definitely had quality at-bats with 2 strikes. See if he can get one at least in the air here. Braden sets, checks the runners, the 1-2. Outside.
I tell you, that's a good eye. That's a pitch awfully close. But that's good plate discipline by Brennan.
Probably one of the improvements.
Yeah, especially where the umpire's been calling the strikes.
Yes.
A little inconsistent early.
Cabrera, the runner at third. Martinez at second. 2-2. The count on Bosch. We're scoreless in the second. The infield is back. Outfield does not move much. They play normal depth, fairly deep, really, on most batters. 2-2 pitch. Swinging it broken back. Ground ball to first. Barton has it. He's coming home, and the throw gets away from Suzuki, and Cabrera scores. Derek Barton with another error, his 5th of the year, had all the time in the world to nail Cabrera at the plate, and he threw it in the dirt, and the Tigers lead 1-0.
Dan, that's the 17th error by the Oakland A's, which is just incredible. They have only played 14 games, and they have 17 errors. And we looked at the miscues they made against the Tigers, big-time errors. Routine play, just a brutal throw on a ball that is not hit hard. Catcher waiting for it, not even close. Boy, oh boy.
Just stunning.
It is.
5 errors in the month of April. 5 errors in 15 games by a pretty good first baseman, Derek Barton, to start the season. Now Brandon Inge bounces one softly to the left side. Pennington goes down to 1. Second for 1. Relay to first. They turn the double play. Pennington, LaRoche to Barton.
Wow, I'm surprised they turned 2.
That was a slow roller to short. And the A's turn the inning-ending double play. But the Tigers get 1 unearned run. We head to the bottom of the second inning. 1-0 Tigers. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. Tigers. The second inning brought to you by Bell Tire. It's the Bell Tire Blast Zone Challenge. Head to Bell Tire today for your chance to win a Tigers prize pack, an unearned run. Another one allows the Tigers to take the early lead.
They thought they'd have a little bit better defense, and sure hasn't shown up yet.
There's the pitch low and outside. By one measure, they were the best team defensively in baseball last year, or second best, depending on how you looked at it. But there's a lot to like about their defense last year. The plays made, not just errors and fielding percentage. There's a strike on the outside corner. Hardball Times had them as the best team in baseball, plus 77 in terms of plays made above the average team. And the middle infield was good, the outfield was good, corner infield was good. Swing and a miss by Matsui. Wow.
Good, another good all-speed pitch. They got him last night in a key situation with an all-speed pitch, but 21 at-bats lifetime against Verlander, 6 for 21. One of those hits, a home run.
2.85 career ERA against the A's. 2.85 here and 2.85 in Detroit. That's good consistency for Justin against this Oakland A's team in 9 career starts. The 1-2 pitch, swinging the line drive, base hit down the left field line. Skipped off the dirt down the line. Rayburn over to field it. Matsui will turn and hold with a sharp single to start the second inning. He'll do that. Just take that pitch away and punch it down the third base line.
I think Verlander's the most surprised. A couple all-speed pitches, a little two-seamer away, and just stuck his bat out. That's a real terrific piece of hitting if you're an Oakland A's fan. You got to like that.
So leadoff man on for the A's here in the second. That brings up Kurt Suzuki, who's hitting .234 in the early going. Inge even the base at third. The double play combination tonight is Peralta and Santiago. First pitch from Justin, fastball at the belt for a called strike at 95 miles an hour.
And not too many folks are happy with the strike zone so far by John Hirschbeck, including Kurt Suzuki.
Jim, that is the pitch that some umpires will call and some won't. It's just maybe 1 or 2 ball widths above the belt. But anything above the belt anymore seems to be a ball. There's a strike, but that one's down in the strike zone.
I think they're inconsistent with calling the high pitch. I think
no
that's
question.
What irritates the players. You know, if you be consistent, okay, we understand it.
We'll see how many more of those same pitches get called a strike by John Hirschbeck tonight. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 fastballs to Kurt Suzuki. Matsui with a very cautious lead at first. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball goes off the plate. That's the slider away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Andy LaRoche is waiting on deck. Tigers with the early 1-0 lead. Didn't score until the 7th inning in game 1 and didn't score until the 9th inning in game 2. And yet have come away with wins in each of the first 2 games. Tigers starting pitching has been very good of late. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. What a funky swing from Kurt Suzuki on the changeup.
Oh, boy, that changeup down and into a right-handed hitter with that type of action, that's one heck of a pitch. He's a good hitter, too. That shows you how good that action was down and in. It was the old half cricket swing, one-handed cricket swing there. He broke it out early.
Only one hand on the bat as he spun completely around, Jim, after the swing.
Well, you know, I thought he got in a bad mindset with the first pitch when it was called a strike. I mean, you just tell by his, the
rest of the at-bat.
Yeah, that's right.
He was messed up. Now Andy LaRoche bats and takes a big bending curve for ball 1. LaRoche 7 for 24. Bob Guerin's been playing in most games because he got off to a decent start and he didn't have many hot bats to go to. This is a .227 career hitter with some extra base power. 1-0. Breaking ball down and away, and it's now 2-0 on LaRoche, getting the start at second. A big error in the game last night when he was playing third. Slow tapper down the third base line in extra innings, and he threw it away, and a 4-1 game became a 6-1 game.
3 horrible errors in that inning.
2-0 pitch, a fastball outside. My goodness, that looked like a perfect pitch. Well, we'll keep an eye on the strike zone.
Well, now after that pitch, both dugouts are not happy.
I'm not sure what more Justin could do with that pitch to bring it into the strike zone. Here's the 3-0 pitch. He did that one, split the plate with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
I love his two types of fastballs. The two-seamer, which he just threw a little tailing action, live action, then the four-seamer, riding action, and a power pitch.
Been very efficient with his pitches the last two games, averaging fewer than 14 pitches an inning. There's a swing and a pop foul out of play, and if that doesn't sound like much, he averages closer to 17, Jim, and under 14 allows him to go 8 and 9 innings and not throw 120 pitches in either start.
Well, that'll show up deeper into the season. I mean, of course, Justin thinks he can throw 150 pitches a game.
Yes, he does.
He might be able to too. I mean, the arm is so good, but that's a nice turnaround.
A lot of that's because he's gotten easy ground ball outs. 3-2 pitch, swinging a pop-up foul, third base side. Brandon Inge, long run, tracking it, will make the catch down by the Oakland bullpen. Matsui holds it first. 2 down, a man on, 1-0 Tigers in the second.
Got in his kitchen. Verlander with his arsenal, 2 types of fastballs, a couple types of breaking balls, and the changeup pitches. My goodness, the changeup year after year seems to get better. Very seldom does he change his arm speed or motion, which is the key.
2 outs, a man on. Matsui started the inning with a sharp ground ball single down the third base line. Now Kevin Kuzminoff at the plate. First pitch, fastball, strike. Just above the kneecaps. Kuzminoff off to a slow start. That's why LaRoche has been at third the last couple of days. One-time San Diego Padre. Came over to Oakland last year. Provided some punch from the right side. Slider low and away. Check swing. Appeal to first. Wally Bell says he did not go. Guy who's not going to walk much, and he strikes out a lot. I like this matchup right here, especially since he's struggling to start the season. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a pop foul right back our way. Just below us here at the Oakland Coliseum. We're above home plate to the first base side. Great vantage point. Ballpark that goes back to the mid-1960s. Multi-use for the Oakland Raiders and the Oakland A's. Santiago shades up the middle. The pitch to Kuzminoff, swinging a foul back. Get a piece of the 1-2. Still has life here in the second inning. Single in the first for DeJesus. A single in the second for Matsui.
Just love the way Justin could take advantage of his height and throw down at the hitter where the ball is not on a level plane. Even with the low mound, he's able to do that because of his height and his arm angle.
Now Justin working third base side of the rubber sets. Martinez setting up outside. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Pitch in the dirt. And Martinez picks it up and tags out Kuzminoff before he gets away. Third strikeout for Justin Verlander. A single does no harm. We head to the third with the Tigers on top 1-0 on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. Tigers bat in the third with a 1-0 lead. Dallas Braden on the mound. 27-year-old lefty delivers to Santiago, and Santiago lets a high fly ball to shallow center field. Chris comes in, makes a catch, 1 pitch, and 1 out. Braden does not need many pitches to get through a typical inning. He'll average, well, last year just under 7 innings a start.
And the other thing he does, he gets the ball and he's ready to go.
He's ready to go, isn't he?
The guys behind him like that. Verlander's a quick worker also.
Jim Leyland stacked his lineup with right-handed batters tonight. The big improvement last year for Dallas Braden was against right-handed batters. There's a pitch outside to Austin Jackson. They'd hit .290 the year before with some pretty good power. Last year, .240 without much power. It was a big, big improvement. And he had to make it since he's not a big strikeout guy. The 1-0 pitch, swinging a foul out of play, late on a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jim, you talked about the changes at Lloyd he's working on with Austin Jackson and the timing issues. I mean, we saw some better at-bats after they reviewed the video, but it's going to take a little bit of time, isn't it?
He's fighting it, yes.
Here's the 1-1, breaking ball strike.
Yeah, he needs what you need when you're not seeing the ball well or getting the load up in time. You need some success, to feel good, and you get a base hit and a sharp base hit, and he could turn this thing around quickly.
Here's the 1-2 in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Austin Jackson.
But is a constant reminder about the technique of hitting. There's a million ways to hit, but then there's a lot of simplicity to it also, and you just don't want to get clogged up with too much, like I talked about Porcello last night.
Now the windup in the 2-2. Breaking ball called third strike. That may go around the plate, but it's a pretty tough pitch from Dallas Braden, and that's his third strikeout of the night.
This inning brought to you by Sunoco, fueling victories for 125 years.
17th time that Austin Jackson has struck out this year. Boy, you just love to see the strikeouts start to drop, the strikeout rate start to drop for Austin. Jimmy's such a good athlete, and there's some things to like about that swing. We certainly saw it last year. You really have to believe he's going to cut the strikeouts as a pitch outside.
Well, it's early, and again, everything is, a lot of eyes on him. Especially his second year. He was so good last year. Getting off to a bad start, he's got to fight through it.
Here's the 1-0 to Rayburn, swinging a foul to the screen. But Braden has the ability, doesn't he, Jim? I mean, you know he's going to, for the most part, go away. And even there's a 1-0 pitch, soft away, and it was tempting for Rayburn, and he couldn't do anything with it.
Well, you know, he's got deception with his pitches, and command is very good. That's a good combination.
Braden into his motion, the 1-1, swing and a miss.
I mean, that's a changeup off a changeup, and I think he could have said, Ryan, here comes a changeup, and he still would have swung early.
I mean, you know, like you said at the start of the broadcast, you know you're going to get it.
Going to get it.
He could practically tell you that it's coming.
Here it comes.
And you still can't do anything with it. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Another off-speed breaking ball away. He stayed away, and got 3 swings and misses. And back-to-back strikeouts in the third for Dallas Braden. We go to the bottom of the third. The Tigers are on top 1-0. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. Braden has handled everybody except Victor Martinez through the first 3 innings. You're getting the sense that this might be another pitcher's duel here in Oakland tonight.
Good sharp with all of his pitches, and the command, very good.
Cliff Pennington leads off. Switch hitting shortstop takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Justin starts him off with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball on the Comcast radar gun. Now the strike 1 pitch, swinging a foul out of play, late on a fastball. Jim, the thing that really stood out in his last start, 10 ground ball outs. You don't see that with Justin very often, but that got him from the 4th inning through the 8th inning. There were 9 ground ball outs, and the pitch count stayed low. It was very, very impressive. The 0-2 curve is low and inside.
Well, there's several reasons for that. Number one, of course, keeping hitters off balance, but the 2-seamer, which, you know, really has that good sinking action to it, plus the variety of breaking balls and the changeup. I mean, power pitcher with the art of pitching.
There's a swing and a miss on a high fastball. Pennington chased out of the strike zone. That's the 4th strikeout for Justin Verlander.
Oh, boy, it's off to a good start. Okay, April 22nd, folks, the White Sox will be in Motown. First 10,000 fans get it. Austin Jackson figurine brought to you by Little Caesars. How about a couple pizzas right now? For tickets, 866-66-TIGER, log on to Tigers.com. Silly question asking you that.
Never. I don't think I literally have ever turned one down.
No, bottomless pit sits right next to me here.
They're hot. I'm ready.
Oh.
Coco Chris takes a strike. So far, mostly fastballs from Justin Verlander here in the third. Very, very impressive, though, how he has just seemed like, Jim, really, in your pitching category, has really pitched the last 2 games. There's a pitch outside so that at times knows he can put a fastball in a certain spot, get an easy out, save some pitches instead of just trying to pump fastballs by guys.
Absolutely. Every pitch looks like he's throwing with a purpose. That's what it's all about.
Now the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a fly ball, left center field, fairly deep. On the run, Austin Jackson will track it down in left center field. Good running catch for Austin. Got a good break, and he tracked it down. Another hard hit ball off the bat of Coco Crisp, who has had some of the better swings in this series.
He has, but I would say he preferred to hit the ball on the ground or line drives because power-wise, most of those will be caught.
Yep. We've talked about it, but it really is an intriguing ballpark with the reachable dimensions and yet a pitcher-friendly ballpark. The ball doesn't travel here. You would think it could wear on the hitters' minds for the Oakland A's. There's a strike to Derek Barton.
Listen, there's no question about it. I mean, the Tigers have one guy. Doesn't matter where, he's hitting. This ballpark doesn't mean anything to Miguel Cabrera, but the A's don't have anybody that, to fill that department.
Strike one pitch, low and outside. 1-1 on Barton. Took a called third his first time up. The sun has left the playing surface. It is shining on the right field wall at the moment and on the stands in center and in deep right down the first base line. 1-1 pitch, fastball, good pitch. Down in the strike zone on the outside corner. Barton takes it for strike two. If he had swung, there wouldn't have been much he could have done with it. Deep in the left-handed batter's box, cocks the bat high over the left shoulder. The next pitch is a fastball high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes, a consistent mid-90s fastball for Justin tonight. Fastball's had consistent good life all season long, but the way he's mixing his pitches, very, very impressive. 2-2 pitch, swinging a high foul fly down the left field line. Long run for Inge and across the mounds, and that ball fell over by the stands, but still in play. And Brandon gave chase.
And went right over the mound. Looked like he stepped right on the old pitching rubber down there. But Brandon, if it's catchable, normally he'll get there. But he had to do a little tap dancing around the pitching mounds down there.
He knew he was about to run over the mound. Jim, is there anything tougher than when you're tracking a pop fly to run over a pitcher's mound?
That's why Norm Cash, everybody
was
always raved about how he could go down that right field corner at Tiger Stadium on the pitching mounds and catch pop-ups.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Big bending curve. Barton waited, took a rip, didn't come close.
And it was kind of a weak rip, too.
5th strikeout for Justin after 3-1-0 Tigers on the Detroit Tigers radio network. Heart of the order for the Tigers against Dallas Braden. 1-0 Tigers on an unearned run in the second inning. Have the lead as we go to the top of the 4th. Ordonez, Cabrera, and Martinez. The first pitch outside. Maglio, first pitch that he saw since Monday when he came out of the game against Texas with a sore Achilles, the inflamed bursa sac. Bounced to short his first time up. He swings and lines this one over a leaping LaRoche into right center field. Over to field it is Coco Crisp on a couple of skips. That's a good swing and a rocket of a line drive single.
He's just a professional hitter. I mean, a lot of folks said, hey, can he do it again? But his resume tells you that he's going to be up there as far as batting average. Can he provide the power at this stage of his career? Well, that's really to be seen. But he knows how to hit.
Jim Leyland said he didn't want to bring him back only as a DH when he came back from the ankle soreness, but he is the DH tonight with the lefty on the mound because Martinez is catching. There's a line drive to the gap in left center field off the bat of Cabrera. One hop up against the wall. Ordonez around second heading to third, and they will hold him at third. It's a rocket line drive double. Runners at second and third. Nobody out in the 4th.
Well, the big man does it again. He got an all-speed pitch up in the zone and just showed that he's such a pure hitter that did not pull off the ball, just waited that little bit extra. And when the ball jumps off his bat, outfielders, and it's in the gap, you got to head to the wall, and that's what they did. He is just something else. This inning brought to you by the DMC All-Star Lineup Reserve All-Star DMC Docs.
And again, if it's someone other than Maglio running, they probably send him home.
Absolutely.
But Gene Lamont, you could tell he was rounding second, and Gene was putting the stop sign on.
Yeah,
stop him at third.
Can't force it right now. And no need to with nobody out.
But Jim Leyland was saying Maglio DHing tonight will have to be in the field with a righty on the mound with Avila catching because Victor Martinez will be the DH, and he feels that Maglio is at that point now. There's a pitch low and outside to Victor Martinez. In at the corners about halfway. The middle of the infield is back. Maglio made the comment yesterday. They said, are you 100%? He said, no, I'm about 85, 90, but I'll never be 100%. I think he was making a joke about his age, that he's not going to be 100%'s not the same as it used to be. Now Victor bounces one slowly to the left side. Charging is Kuzminoff on the grass, holds the runner, throws out Martinez at first, one out, runners at second and third.
Well, you know, at Maglio's age, as many games as he has played, anybody who's played this game of baseball for a number of years, and, you know, people say, well, you know, it's not like football or basketball, but let me tell you, you play all the games that a pro athlete plays, and then some of us played winter ball, and, you know, in the off season, that it's a lot of baseball, a lot of wear and tear on your body, and a lot of injuries that people don't talk about.
And Jim Leyland was saying today, Jim, he feels he will get back to 100%. It just won't be, as he put it, every day. There's a line drive, fouled on the third base line, and that went right by the right ankle of Maglio Ordonez.
That's all they need right now.
Oh, my goodness.
You see Maglio kind of moving that left leg a little bit, that ankle. But, you know, at his stage of his career, I mean, it's just not going to be 100%.
Right.
That's just the way it is now.
Jim Leyland just says, I'll have to just keep an eye on it more than maybe past years. Strike one on Peralta, the pitch. Strike two. Johnny was lifting his hands up out of the way and getting out of the way, and then John Hirschbeck went up with the right hand. You could see the shoulders sag for Peralta after the call. Didn't like it, but now he's faced with an 0-2 pitch from Dallas Braden. Runners at second and third. A ground ball to the middle of the infield will score a run. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Peralta lays off. It's good to see Maglio back out there, though, on that good line drive swing to start this inning.
Well, look at the pressure of Rayburn, Maglio, Cabrera, Martinez. You know, I mean, that Bosch down there, I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on opposing pitchers.
Braden, as we told you, not a big strikeout pitcher already with 4 strikeouts in this game. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, make it 5. Boy, another off-speed breaking ball away from a right-handed batter. The changeup and the off-speed breaking ball away has been incredibly effective.
Well, we mentioned coming in, his best pitch is the changeup, but the way he sets it up even makes it better. When he's right, the art of pitching is strong, and well, you're seeing it right now. If he gets out of this inning with the first 2 men getting on with ropes like that, that's something.
Line drive single, line drive double, and now it's second and third, still with 2 outs. Brendan Bosch bats. Reached on an error his first time up. He swings here and pops it up, and Braden's going to get out of the inning.
Wow.
Kuzminoff onto the grass, makes the catch. Dallas Braden gets out of a second and third none-out jam without allowing a run to score. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0 Tigers. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. 1-0 Tigers, bottom of the 4th. Big opportunity to add to a 1-0 lead, and they did not cash in. And Jim, the Tiger bats have been quiet. A lot of credit there, though, to Dallas Braden.
I'll tell you, you get Martinez, Peralta, and Bosch on easy outs like that with 2 on and nobody out. That is strong pitching. My goodness.
Well, now Justin Verlander faces the heart of the Oakland order, DeJesus, Willingham, and Matsui. With a 1-0 lead in the 4th, he may have to make that 1 run hold up. There's a fastball low and outside. DeJesus singled his first time up. Kind of a soft line drive over shortstop. You see Jackson in this at-bat even shallower and toward left center. Very shallow, really, on DeJesus. The 1-0 pitch, a strike. Let's pause for station identification on the Detroit Tigers radio network. Now the windup in the 1-1 to DeJesus. Fastball a little bit low. 2-1 on David DeJesus. Rayburn in left is in and toward the line. Bosch is straight up in right. Brandon Inge even with the base at third. Rest of the infield back. 1-0 Tigers. We're in the bottom of the 4th. 1 run, 3 hits for the Tigers. No runs, 2 hits. 1 error for the A's. Now DeJesus lines it in the left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Over to field it in deep left center on a couple of skips is Jackson. DeJesus headed to second. 1 hot throw. Not in time. That's a hustle double for DeJesus, and almost a tremendous play by Austin Jackson, tracking a ball down that looked like it was headed to the wall.
Well, I'll tell you, I think it was a heck of a play to get over there and cut it off, because if it gets to the wall, that's definitely an easy double, maybe a triple, but a head-first slide got him in safely. You know, to be able to get over there, backhand the ball, stop and throw a strike to the second baseman, that's a great try by Austin Jackson, but a solid base hit by DeJesus.
Well, he's been wearing out left center field, hasn't he?
He sure has. Stays on the ball, doesn't try to, as Maglio says, do too much. If you do, you don't do too much.
When I try to do too much, I don't do too much. One of the all-time great quotes from Maglio. There's a breaking ball and a strike.
The other,
a little bit high, ball one.
My favorite one from Maglio was when he won the batting title. I said, Max, how you doing? So I seen the ball. The ball looks big. I said, big, yeah. He said, and slow too. And I go, okay.
That's the best combination.
I have never heard that before.
Here's the 1-0. Did the ball ever look big and slow to you? There's a strike on the outside corner.
It looked big, but never slow. I mean, I've never heard that before. Never heard a hitter say that. Then he had that little Maglio smile on his face,
DeJesus at second. Santiago trying to shorten his lead, keeping an eye on him. Justin checks the runner. He's going to turn, throw to second, and not in time. He had DeJesus dancing off second and then actually breaking toward third. So Justin turned and threw to Santiago, but Santiago couldn't quite get to the bag.
Boy, heck of a try though. That ball's perhaps a couple feet lower. They might have gotten him. It's a heads-up play by Santiago.
Still keeping an eye on DeJesus. The 1-1 pitch. Up and in. I was like Lloyd McClendon's description, what he told his former teammate Barry Bonds. He said, you're seeing the pitcher throw on the equivalent of back then, a high-definition 55-inch TV. I'm seeing him throw in a 9-inch black and white.
Yeah, Mac is good with those, yes.
That's how it looks to you, Barry Bonds, but here's how it looks to me. There's a breaking ball, a little bit low. The curve misses the mark. 3-1 on Willingham, is hitting just 208, bounced out his first time up.
Yeah, it's funny when you talk to great players like Al Kaline and says, well, see the ball and hit it. Okay, sure. That's your advice to help me become a better hitter?
See it and hit it.
Okay, Al.
Now, once again, Justin will turn and look DeJesus back to second base. Not a base-stealing threat, but certainly can score from second on a single with his good speed. Jackson shallow in center. The 3-1 pitch. Ground ball down the third base line. Fair. Pass to diving Brandon Inge into foul territory. That scores DeJesus. Rayburn up with the ball in foul territory. No throw to second. RBI double for Willingham. We're tied at 1 in the fourth.
Boy, back-to-back solid base hits by the A's, a team that Jim Leland's going to argue on the call heading out to the third base umpire. He thought it was foul, but the back-to-back solid base hits against this ball club, who certainly has not been swinging the bat very sharply of late, but there was a pitch, an all-speed pitch that he was able to stay on, and Jim is going to go out and say he thought it was foul. Brandon dove for it. By the time he got over there, he dove in foul territory. It sure looked like it went over the bag.
Yeah, it did. Brandon wasn't that far off the line, so that ball had to be hit hard to get by him.
Well, that's a long run for the old skipper.
Long back to that Tigers dugout on the first base side. Saw this with Justin in his last start. It was back-to-back doubles that produced a couple of runs in a Texas 2-0 win on a day when he pitched brilliantly, pitched a complete game, but a loss because Alexi Ogando was just a little bit better. And there's a strike on the outside corner to Matsui. Back-to-back doubles have tied the game here in the fourth, and there's nobody out. Tigers couldn't get a big hit with men in scoring position 2 different times in this game. There's a line drive, base hit down the right field line. That's going to break the tie. Into the corner. Rounding third, heading home, Willingham. Matsui on his way to second, makes it standing up. 3 straight doubles for the Oakland A's, and they've got a 2-1 lead here in the fourth.
Well, the bats woke up. What the Tigers saw the first 2 games were a lot of weak swings, but Verlander kind of coasting up until this inning, and then 3 rockets. The pitch was down and in, and that was the liking to Matsui. It looked like a breaking ball that hung up a little bit.
So Victor Martinez out to have a word with Justin. A little pat on the back as they meet at the mound. 3, 4, 5 hitters deliver for the Oakland A's. The 3, 4 hitters delivered for the Tigers, Ordonez and Cabrera, but then Martinez, Peralta, and Bosch retired easily. by Dallas Braden.
Well, while he's out, to remind you, season tickets are on sale. Packages start as low as $10 a game. You can call this number to find out more, 313-471-BALL, or visit Tigers.com.
That brings up Kurt Suzuki. First pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball right by him at 96 miles an hour. With every strikeout by a Tigers pitcher today, $100 will be deposited into the University of Toledo's scholarly savings account. The University of Toledo, more ways to create your future. 2-1, A's are the lead. 3 straight doubles to start the fourth. The strike one pitch, swing and a foul straight back.
Boy, it looked like he was trying to go to the right side and had a pitch to do it. Suzuki is, in my book, is might be the best catcher, the all-around catcher in baseball, in my opinion.
You like his defensive skills.
I sure do. And his the way he enjoys playing the game and catching.
One of the players that they have locked up long term. He's just 27 years old, heading into his prime. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball low and outside. Martinez blocks it, moving to his right. 5 strikeouts for Justin through the first 3 innings. Pitch count reasonable. He was getting fairly quick outs, but now some very good swings to start the fourth. Justin sets. Here's the 1-2. Fastball high. Reaching back, getting a little bit extra. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch count has climbed to 60 with nobody out here in the fourth. Rayburn in left is straight up. Jackson fairly shallow in center and shedded a few steps toward left center. Justin, glove on the left thigh, ball behind the back, looks in to get the sign, shook off a couple of times, and finally Suzuki calls time and gets it from the home plate umpire, John Hirschbeck. Now Verlander looks at Matsui. The pitch, swinging a line drive, base hit, 2 skips off the dirt into left. They'll hold Matsui at third, but the ball gets by Rayburn. Matsui will score, throw to second, not in time. Suzuki in, standing up. 4 straight bullets off the bats of the A's here in the fourth. That'll be an unearned run on the error by Rayburn. 3-1 A's.
He hit another rocket, and Ryan obviously just took his eye off the ball, dribbled away, run scored. Man ends up at second base, and you can go back a long way to see 4 straight batters hit ropes like they have off of Justin Verlander.
Would have been first and third, still nobody out, so that run might end up actually being an earned run. But the error clearly allowed Matsui to score instead of being held at third.
You know, this is amazing, Dan. We didn't see more than 2 or 3 good swings the first 2 games by the Oakland batters, and here they are against one of the top pitchers in the game, and 4 straight terrific at-bats off of Verlander.
Big surprise. Now he's facing the bottom part of the order. Andy LaRoche, right-handed batter. First pitch and swinging a tap foul right at home plate. Off-speed pitch to start things off. The bottom of the order is not a strong bottom of the order. LaRoche, Kuzminoff, and Pennington. Inge a step behind the base at third. Peralta, the shortstop, keeping an eye on Suzuki at second. LaRoche bounces one to third. Brandon Inge backhands it along the line, holds the runner, guns it over to Cabrera. That's the first out of the fourth inning.
And if you're an Oakland A's fan, you say that's a horrible at-bat. Man on second, nobody out. Routine ground ball with 1 strike on him to third base.
Jim, you looked at the Tigers' infield was playing him. Peralta was the one holding the runner at second base, and Santiago, the second baseman, with the right-handed batter up, was shaded toward the hole on the right side.
Absolutely. You're thinking, if you play the game right, he's going to try to go to the right side, and he sure did.
Kevin Kuzminoff, first pitch, swinging a foul out of play. Well back first base side. 3-1, A's with the lead, and every run precious in this ballpark. Tigers did score 8 last night, but
A lot of help.
4 of the runs were gifts because of errors by the A's. Tigers have only averaged 3 runs a game in their last 13 games here. There's a pitch low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kuzminov, who struck out his first time up. Pretty aggressive swinger at the plate.
Yeah, they thought they would get more when they made the deal to get him, especially offensively.
He's hit as many as 23 home runs in a San Diego uniform, but the average has fallen off, and so has the power here in Oakland. There's a breaking ball, strike 1 and 2. Second year with the Oakland A's. Hit .247 with 16 home runs. Solid defensively at third. Santiago now trying to shorten the lead of Suzuki at second. Doubles from DeJesus, Willingham, and Matsui, and then a Suzuki single that produced 3 runs for the A's. There's a swing and a pop-up. Shallow center field. Austin Jackson will make the catch, and everybody holds. So this is where it becomes a little tricky for the official scorer to figure out, is that third run actually an earned run? And Jim, with that fly ball, if you could recreate the inning and Matsui's still at third, you probably say that's a sacrifice fly that scores Matsui.
Even Matsui, I think, would have scored on that, but that just tells you that I'm not picking on LaRoche, but to play the game right, you got to take a try to the right side. He didn't do that, and it's just with 1 strike, routine ground ball to the left side.
Now Cliff Pennington bats. Takes a breaking ball that floats high and away. Tigers down 2 in the 4th inning. Pennington with a couple of hits from the left side. He's been struggling early as a left-handed batter. Four for 27 overall. He checks his swing and he went too far. It's a called strike by the home plate umpire, John Hirschbeck. A long 4th inning for Justin Verlander. Pitch count is climbing. Although with Justin, it doesn't really begin to be a factor until about 120. Here's the 1-1. Off-speed pitch on the outside corner for a called strike.
Well, it was close.
Pennington didn't like the call. Had good reason. First round pick out of Texas A&M in 2005, Cliff Pennington. Second full year with the A's, debuted in 2008. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball goes around the plate. Speedster provides good defense. He's got good range at short with a good arm. Likes to put that arm on display, too. He's close to the plate from the left side. Kind of sits down into his stance. Knees bent, the upper body upright. Tucks the hands in tight by the left shoulder. The pitch from Justin, ground ball foul. Behind Ty Waller, the first base coach for the Oakland A's. Mike Gallego, former A's infielder, is at third. Tigers trying to make it 5 straight wins. And 5 straight here in Oakland. That is something they have never done. Won 5 straight games at the Oakland Coliseum. They've won 4 straight going back to last year. Verlander checks the runner. The 2-2 pitch again. Swinging a foul over the screen. Riding fastball. Pennington just got a piece of it. Fouled it to our left.
Now think about Pennington. A curveball about ankle high. Pulled it foul. Fastball about shoulder high. Just got a piece of it. Look at the different areas that you have to protect as a hitter with 2 strikes on you. And with live action with all of Verlander's pitches.
Justin nods his head at the sign from Martinez. He's ready. 2-2 pitch again. Low with the fastball. Full count on Cliff Pennington. Outfield shallow on Pennington. Very little in the way of extra base power in this bat. Rayburn is in and toward the line. Jackson very shallow and toward left center. Bosch is shallow and right. Be tough to score. Even Suzuki runs well. Tough to score him on a single. 3-2 pitch, low and inside, a walk.
Pretty patient at bat for Pennington.
Sure was. Walk puts runners at first and second. Back to the top of the order. The 8th man to face Justin Verlander here in the 4th. Coco Crisp. Guy who's had more success against Justin than anybody else in this lineup.
Boy, as shallow as that outfield is, if he gets a base hit, any type of base hit, it'd be tough to score the runner from second base.
And stay shallow on Crisp. They were very aggressive against him last time. He hit a deep fly ball in his first at-bat. Tracked down, for his second at-bat, tracked down by Austin Jackson. Justin was on the rubber. He stepped off. 3-1. A's with the lead in the bottom of the 4th. They've hit Justin Verlander hard. First 4 batters. 2 men on, 2 outs. Coco Crisp takes a strike.
I think Coco got his ears lowered.
Well, he had the hair flowing from underneath the helmet the other day.
Well, a lot of it looks to be gone.
I think he's tightened it up. Here's the strike one. Swinging a pop fly behind third base. Coming hard is Ryan Rayburn to make the catch into foul territory, about 2 steps. So 1 unearned run, 3 runs for the A's. We go to the 5th inning with the A's on top now, 3-1. This is the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. 5th inning. Brandon Ings leads off. The Oakland A's have their first lead of the night. 8-9 one-hitters against Dallas Braden, who's struggled with the middle part of the Tigers' order, but not anywhere else. Brandon takes a pitch low and outside. Ordonez with a single ahead of a Cabrera double in the 4th. Cabrera walked ahead of a Martinez double in the 2nd. Both times, runners at 2nd and 3rd, none out, and the Tigers only scratched out a run because of an error by Derek Barton. They have not had a hit in either one of those innings after the double. Here's the 2-0 to Brandon. Strike on the outside corner just below the belt. In Santiago and Jackson to face Dallas Braden, who needed just 48 pitches to get through the first 4 innings of this game. Working quickly, 2-1 pitch, breaking ball strike. Boy, he's done that a lot.
That off-speed pitch is just
really good.
Man.
Braden, 6'1", lefty, works on the extreme third base side of the rubber. The quick step to the side, then into his motion. Brandon lifts a high fly ball to left, not deep. To his left, Willingham is there about 4 steps. Makes a catch, 1 up, 1 down, 3-1 A's. We're in the 5th.
Not much left on that swing because of the off-speed offering. This game comes due from the ABC Warehouse broadcast booth. ABC Warehouse, the closest thing to wholesale. Glad to have them with us on the road, too. Bring the booth right with us.
It's amazing how you
put it in my suitcase.
Tuck it in your suitcase.
It folds up. It's amazing what you can do nowadays.
Brings up to the number 9 hitter, Ramon Santiago. He had a routine fly ball to center his first time up. Check some scores on the General RV scoreboard. Ramon Santiago takes a strike. A lot of finals already in, and some amazing results early on this season.
You're not kidding.
Tampa scored 2 in the bottom of the 9th inning to beat the Twins. There's a ground ball, Wakely to third, backing up to play the waist high bounce. Kuzminoff, a strike over to Barton at first. 2 up and 2 down. It's awfully easy right now for Dallas Braden. But Joe Nathan, we talked about this the other day. He's not the same looking Joe Nathan right now, and he gave up 2 in the bottom of the 9th and took the loss. And the Minnesota Twins are 4-10.
Early, but they'll get it together. I mean, it's and you would think Nathan would get it together too. I'm just a little surprised that he did start basically out as the closer.
Yeah, sounded like they were going to maybe share it with Matt Katz.
Yeah.
There's a strike on the outside corner to Austin Jackson, and
well, if any organization knows what they're doing, it's the Twins.
Yes.
They're not going to argue with them.
It's their worst start since 2000. The first time they started 4-10 since 2000, or a start that bad. Now Jackson swings and misses. Off-speed pitch away from a right-handed batter.
Did I mention that every at-bat you're going to get some off-speed pitches?
I believe you did.
I think I should go down the dugout and tell the boys.
And once again, we see Austin Jackson behind, no balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch away. Each of his at-bats tonight. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And in this at bat, no balls, 2 strikes.
Amazing when you're struggling how that seems to multiply.
Hitting 184 coming into play. 3-1 Oakland in the 5th. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball. Chopped foul. The Indians are 10-4. They beat the Orioles 8-3. The Orioles have hit the skids. They've lost 6 in a row.
Break up the Indians.
And the Royals are 10-4.
And the Royals, break them up too.
They beat Felix Hernandez today, 7-0.
When you beat him, you're doing something.
Both teams 10-4. First time ever both the Indians and Royals have started 10-4 in the same season. The 1-2 pitch, swinging a pop foul out of play. The two teams, the consensus pick for 4th and 5th in the Central, leading the Central right now. The White Sox lost. The Twins are 4-10. The White Sox lost again. And so if the Tigers win tonight, then you've got the standings will be exactly the opposite of what they were last year, turned upside down. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Floats high with the breaking ball with the Twins on the bottom. Tigers in the middle and 3rd, and you have Kansas City and Cleveland at the top. 0 for 2 for Jackson tonight.
Long way to go.
Angels beat the White Sox 7-2. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging a long foul fly deep down the right field line. Coming over is DeJesus, but no shot at it. Jackson battling. Suzuki's going to go out to have a word with Dallas Braden. 3-1 A's.
Dan, I think
in
that's
the 5th.
3 or 4 off-speed pitches in a row. And he is hung in, just getting a piece of them.
Another good start for Josh Beckett today. That's 2 in a row for Beckett. Red Sox winners 4-1 over the Jays to improve to 3-10.
And they're saying they've turned it around. The nation has turned it around.
Yankees beat the Rangers 5-2. Freddie Garcia 6 shutout innings. There's a pitch outside. 8th pitch of the at bat is ball 3. So Garcia and Colon are leading that staff right now.
Again, if you're a season ticket holder, you look at this roster and say, "No, wait a minute here."
3-2 on Austin Jackson. Tigers need base runners. Are down by 2. The 3-2 pitch is swinging a little tap foul. Another off-speed pitch. And Jackson, just at the very end of the bat, got a piece of it.
He's 70. He's gone from 70 to 88 in this game. Different pitch speeds.
And even with this long at bat, and this will be the 10th pitch of the at bat, his pitch count is still at 64 here in the 5th. The 3-2 pitch again. High, he walked him.
And he stayed with the off-speed offers. I keep thinking, after all those off-speed pitches, he's got to try to throw a fastball in on the inner half of the plate, but he didn't try it.
Second walk for Dallas Braden. He has struck out 5. Cabrera was the other walk. And some of the pitches in that at-bat were very close. Now Ryan Rayburn fighting it a little bit right now. 1 for 11 in this series. He struck out in each of his first 2 at-bats. He has struck out 16 times early this year. There's a little flip over to first. Struck out 3 times in the game last night. We've seen some very good swings from Ryan early.
Yeah, and you know, that's the other thing. He has that threat in that bat, and that's worrisome to the opposing pitchers.
1 hit in this series was a big RBI double in game 1. First pitch from Braden. Outside.
And many folks think that maybe Braden has the best pickoff move in baseball.
He absolutely stops the running game, that's for sure. 30 starts last year, 1 steal, Jim.
Yeah,
1.
That's a good combination with Suzuki and him.
Look at Barton holding with Jackson at first. There's a swing, a line drive to left field coming over Willingham. He'll make the catch running toward the line. Good swing from Rayburn, but he hit it right to Willingham in left. Tigers get a 2-out walk to Austin Jackson, but no more. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th in Oakland. The A's have a 3-1 lead. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. My Tigers starting pitcher, the Michigan Masons, will donate $25 to their Model Student Assistant Program, a program that helps teachers identify at-risk students. The Michigan Masons live better. Justin Verlander needs a quick inning. The 4th went on and on. 8 batters and a lot of pitches and a lot of good swings. Derek Barton leads off by taking a strike. 3-1 A's in the bottom of the 5th. Barton is 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Curveball goes around the plate. That pitch has been a strike tonight.
Yes.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Action in the Hayes pen. I don't know if they're listing up for later in the game or what.
Somebody must just be getting loose.
Yeah, maybe he didn't get his work in before.
There's a strike on the outside corner. Good to see the numbers back on the regular numbers back on the jerseys tonight. It's tough to tell who was warming up.
Yeah, all 42s.
Great tribute to Jackie Robinson. It is funny to see everybody wearing the same number as they do on Jackie Robinson Tribute Day. There's a pitch in the dirt on the 1-2. Someone was down by the dugout at the end of the game last night, and when Brian Villarreal kept stepping off and looking over to first, one of the young A's fans, a youngster, said, "Hey, number 42, you stink." And his mom said, "Honey, they're all 42 tonight." There's a pitch low and outside. 3-2 on Barton. The Jesus, Willingham, and Matsui with consecutive doubles to start the fourth. Boy, I'm not sure Justin's ever had a stretch like that.
No, like I said, you had to go a long way to find that off of a Verlander slants.
And then Suzuki ripped a single to get Matsui over to third, and then Rayburn misplayed it. There's a foul out of play, and they did call that an unearned run. Even with the sacrifice fly later in the inning, they cannot assume, I guess, that he will score on that fly ball.
Right.
Thus, the unearned run. But the fact is, it's 3-1 A's in the bottom of the fifth. The wind up in the 3-2 pitch. Low and outside. A little extra hop at the end of the delivery from Justin. He thought he had a strikeout, his 6th of the night, and it was a very close pitch.
It really was a close pitch. And Justin headed towards home plate to get the ball. A little message to the umpire that he didn't agree with that call.
First walk, second walk issued by Justin. 2 to the last 3 batters. And the pitch count all the way up to 85 already here in the 5th inning. He needs to get some quick outs. He has shown in his last 2 starts he can do that by getting routine ground balls. David DeJesus at the plate. First pitch, fastball, runs away from the left-handed batter, ball 1. Good couple of games for DeJesus. He didn't start game 1 with the lefty Phil Koch on the mound. 3 hits last night, 2 today. 5 now for 7 in his last 7 at-bats in the series. The pitch from Justin, a little bit low. 2-0 on DeJesus.
Not missing by much.
It really isn't. It just seems like the Hirschbeck strike zone has tightened up. Tigers down 2. Leadoff man on for the A's in the 5th. The 2-0 pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Fastball. Boy, it's been a nice, easy mid-90s fastball all game long.
Boy, it just seems like that's his resume now. That's what he's going to go out there and challenge the hitters with. I mean, it's been live all year.
You see him dial it up and dial it down, but today it's been dialed in. What was that? Pitch way inside.
Well, I'm not sure. The umpire, home plate umpire, wasn't sure. He's going to ask the first base umpire now if the ball hit him.
The batter, DeJesus, thought he was hit.
Now Verlander's going to get involved.
The third base umpire is going to say, no, you stay out of the conversation. Jim Leland is waiting to argue if they say he did get hit. DeJesus went all the way down to first. It was, Jim, what was that? I mean, it was a quick pitch from Justin Verlander. It was a very strange. I mean, DeJesus was hardly set. He was not set.
No.
And Justin threw, and
I think even Martinez was a little surprised, the catcher.
Jim, it was like he wanted to throw to first.
Yeah, it was very strange.
And he hopped off the rubber and threw home.
I haven't seen Justin ever do that before, but you see Martinez puts his hands on his hip. Very strange.
It was exactly like he was throwing to first.
But he threw to home.
And if that's not a quick pitch.
It's a strange quick pitch. I mean, Martinez, even the catcher.
I'm not sure the umpires know what to call it. They are absolutely baffled, I think. It did not hit DeJesus. I didn't think, did you?
It looked like he could have hit his pant leg when he jumped to get out of the way. You saw something look like it did. Now they're going to confer with.
I wonder if they're going to call this a quick. Well.
And it would be a wild pitch too,
right,
wouldn't it?
Right, a wild pitch.
If it didn't hit him, it's a wild pitch, and the runner's got to stay at second base.
It definitely did not hit
Right.
DeJesus. This is a most unusual situation because Justin delivered a pitch unlike you will ever see a pitcher throwing home. He looked like he was throwing to a base, only he was throwing to home plate. It was as if his body was not directing him over to first, and instead he threw home. So Bob Guerin is out now getting an explanation from the umpires.
But no matter what, the runner first has got to stay at second base.
And that's where he is now. They've not redirected him to first. It's a long explanation from Wally Bell, the first base umpire. John Hirschbeck is the crew chief. He's going to continue the explanation for Bob Guerin as he walks back to the A's dugout on the third base side.
Very strange.
I've never seen anything like that, Jim.
No, I haven't either. I mean, the way that Justin delivered it, it fooled the batter, the umpires, and the catcher.
So picture the Justin move where he sets and makes the quick spin and throw to first. He set, and instead of spinning and throwing to first, he kind of jumped off the rubber and threw home.
Well, listen, when you fool your catcher, you know it was a surprise.
I mean, DeJesus had just finished taking a cut, waving the bat across home plate, had not cocked the bat over his shoulder, was not in any way set, and then Justin just threw home like he was throwing to first.
I can't wait to hear the explanation from the umpires.
So it does not count as a pitch. They call it a wild throw. There's a curve that goes around the plate. So instead of it being a 3-1 count, the count stayed 2-1. E1 got Barton to second base.
I have never heard of that or seen that before. That's a new one. I tell you, watch this game long enough, you keep seeing everything, you have it.
3-1 pitch outside. He walked him. But, Jim, that seems like the exact right call because it was not a pitch. It was not a legal pitch to home plate.
Why wasn't it, though? I don't understand why it wouldn't be.
That was bizarre.
I mean, why wouldn't it be a legal pitch? Now, the umpires got me confused. That's not easy to confuse me. I admit that. But if he threw it towards home plate, why wasn't it a legal pitch? And, you know, I keep watching Ziegler warming up in the bullpen. I just wonder if Braden, something wrong with him or he's sick or something.
There's the fastball strike.
Well, he's been pitching. If he doesn't,
there'd have to be some reason.
You got to rest him.
Willingham takes the strike. So to recap, Barton walks on a 3-2 pitch. On a 2-1 pitch that wasn't a pitch, Justin Verlander awkwardly threw home before DeJesus was ready in the left-handed batter's box. They called it a throw, basically a throw to a base instead of a pitch.
I'd like to see that in the rule book.
And then he ended up walking to Jesus anyway. First and second, nobody out. Willingham, cleanup hitter, swings and pops it up foul behind home plate. Martinez comes back, but it's just over the screen, and Willingham is behind in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. He's 1 for 2 today, and he scored one of the 3 A's runs.
Wake up the research department, because if that's in the rule book, it's got to be a heck of a description.
Willingham has struck out a whole bunch in the early part of this year, already 19 times. And he's down on the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Right-handed batter against the righty. The 0-2 pitch, and fastball high, tight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Barton the runner at second, DeJesus at first. Now Verlander ready. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him with a half cut on a high tight fastball.
A little extra on that one. Don't forget, if you want to win $15,000, stop by the Jesse James Sausage Display at your Value Center Market and get the keyword and then text it 97136.
2 on, 1 out for Hideki Matsui, who doubled in the run his last time up. First pitch to Matsui. Strike on the outside corner. Once again, the outside corner is in play.
Yes, it is. All of a sudden, heck of a call.
Left-handed batter, Matsui against the righty, Justin Verlander. Single and a double for Matsui. He'd been hitless in the series, and he takes his strike.
Same spot, wasn't it?
Same spot. And Jim, that was called a ball against Barton.
It's been interesting. And I think the hitters on both sides are a little confused with the strike zone.
2 on, 1 out, 3-1 A's in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 0-2 pitch, swinging a foul out of play. Well back, third base side. Kurt Suzuki waiting on deck, 3 doubled, followed by the Suzuki single in the 4th inning, and then the error by Ryan Rayburn, the second of the night for the Tigers. Verlander with the error this inning, Rayburn last inning. A lot of pitches thrown by Justin, and he's approaching 100 pitches here in the 5th. Matsui taking his time deep in the left-handed batter's box, fairly close to the plate. The pitch, swinging a foul out of play. That's what Matsui can do. A change up away, just flicked the bat at the ball and drove it into the stands down the left field line.
Well, the last half inning was long, and now this inning, half inning is long due to the pitch. It wasn't a pitch.
The strike 2 pitch. Matsui swings and pops it up. Behind third base, Peralta will call off Inns. The infield fly was called. Peralta makes the catch. 2 down, 2 on, 3-1 A's in the bottom of the 5th inning.
But only a few pitchers get away with pitches like that up in the zone to left-handed hitters, and Verlander is one of them. He might have the list because of the action on his pitches at the plate.
Jim, looking at the rule book, there does seem to be one subsection of Rule 8.0 that might apply. There's a curveball for a strike.
Is this from the research department?
It is.
Good to have him here.
If the pitcher removes his pivot foot from contact with the pitcher's plate by stepping backward with that foot, he thereby becomes an infielder. And if he makes a wild throw from that position, it shall be considered the same as a wild throw by any other infielder. Was just swinging a foul to the screen, and since it was kind of a very strange, almost like he was going to throw to first but threw home, that's all I can think of.
Well, he didn't step back, he stepped forward. That says step back, doesn't it?
No, it says removes his pivot foot from contact with the pitcher's plate. Oh, by stepping backward.
Yeah,
well,
can't fool the old catcher. He stepped forward.
But Jim, it's the only thing I've been able to find.
Yeah, I mean
covers the situation. They called it a wild throw. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball to right field. Easy play for Bosch. Back 2 steps, makes the catch. Suzuki is out, and Justin gets out of a 2-on, none-out jam and overcomes a very strange throw to home plate. Not a pitch.
Okay.
We played 5. It's 3-1 A's on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. It's the top of the 6th inning. The Oakland A's have a 3-1 lead. It's game 3 of a 4-game series. Tigers and A's. Tigers have won the first 2. There's a new pitcher for the Oakland A's. You pointed out that Brad Ziegler was throwing and continued to throw during that inning with Justin Verlander on the mound. And sure enough, Brad Ziegler is coming on. We'll hopefully find out what the deal is with Dallas Braden. All we can assume, Jim, is that he is sick. He was sitting on the bench the entire time. He had the hooded sweatshirt kind of covering most of his head as he leaned down, but it didn't appear to be an injury-related circumstance.
No, and he left with the hooded sweatshirt on it back to the locker room.
So Brad Ziegler takes over. We saw him in the game last night. He's pitching to Maglio Ordonez, heart of the order, ball one.
Pitching game brought by U.S. Park Fast Lane. You're playing gave up 2 runs last night on 2 hits.
Now a strike on the outside corner.
Submariner, 4 innings, 4 hits. Couple earned runs. I just mentioned 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. But Mojo is going to come through again tonight for the Tigers.
Well, this guy is very tough on righties. Lefties get a good look at him. There's a pitch low to make it 2-1 on Maglio. Does not give up a lot of extra base hits. But the Tigers will take anything after what they saw from Dallas Braden. There's a pitch just outside. Boy, is that close. 3-1.
The width on the plate tonight has been moving around both sides.
18 inches to 24. Yeah. Back to 18 or 16.
Something like that.
There's a pitch. Same pitch, Jim. That might have been further outside. Called a strike. Maglio's shaking his head, and he has every right to shake his head.
You should have said the pitch before that was a strike, but not that one.
Well, it should be 3-2, and it is. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball to third. A nice knee-high bounce for Kuzminov. Easy toss over to first. Maglio is out. 1 up and 1 down. 3-1 A's. We're in the 6th inning. The final line on Dallas Braden. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was unearned. 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. Very puzzling.
He looked like he had it all working tonight, even though there were a couple, big hits, but by the heart of the lineup. But that's about it.
Cabrera grounds one through the box behind second base, so it's fielded by LaRoche. He had him played perfectly, and easy toss over to Barton at first. 2 up and 2 down. You'll see a lot of that. With this guy on the mound, the Submariner, a lot of ground balls, especially off the bats of right-handed batters.
And he brought you by the Jack Demmer Automotive Group. Discover the Demmer difference. Yeah, looks like the rest of the game for the A's will be a bullpen game.
And remember, this is an A's team that has faced 4 extra inning games in their last 5 without an off day. So the bullpen has been pretty heavily used in recent days by Bob Guerin. Victor Martinez lines it into left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. There's the difference between lefties and righties. More line drives off the bat of lefties against Ziegler. More ground balls off the bats of righties.
And, this is a Submariner that is, he has life at the plate, but doesn't throw very hard. Normally, a Submariner has a little more giddy up on it. He has that short wiffle ball type breaking ball. Looks like it takes off.
And again, it was a lineup loaded with righties against the lefty Dallas Braden. So this might be just the perfect guy to bring in. Still have 2 switch hitters and Brennan Bosch in the lineup. As he's swinging the tap foul off the bat of Johnny Peralta, who has struck out twice. He was 0 for 2 with 4 walks in the first 2 games of this series. Unusual line, especially for Johnny Peralta, doesn't walk a ton.
Of course, that first game, I could have been down there and gotten walked.
He had no choice.
Yeah.
3-1 A's in the 6th. Strike 1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball. Chopped to third. Charging and fielding the in-between. Hot Kuzminov. Throw to first. Offline. The tag applied by Barton. Fine play by Kevin Kuzminov, the third baseman for the A's.
Yeah, he had to make a quick decision, and he did it right.
Tigers get a single from Martinez, but no more. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 3-1 A's. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. Bottom of the 6th inning, Dan Dickerson and Jim Price. Glad to have you along on a Saturday night. Coming to you from the West Coast, Tigers and Oakland A's. Runs have been in a premium all series long. Ground ball to short, charging Peralta. Has trouble getting out of his glove. Quick throw to first, though. And he had plenty of time to get Andy LaRoche. 1 pitch and 1 out. That's what Justin Verlander needs. His pitch count at 101 coming into the inning.
There's action at the Tiger pen. It'll be interesting to see how long they do go with him. But, you know, he feels he can do Nolan Ryan. Certainly has an arm like that, but
the old pitchers are the ones he admires.
Right, and you know, it's like Leland says, so I got to manage for the whole year.
Loved his comments about Rick Porcello last night. There's a swing and a miss to Kevin Kuzminoff, talking about that very thing, that what he did with Rick Porcello with a man at third, 2 outs, and Matsui had 2 good swings against him. Leland came to the mound. You're thinking he might take him out. There's a pitch low and in, but he went out. He said it was a combination of pump him up, get him out, but also some instructions to go with it.
Sure.
And he struck out Matsui. And that kind of confidence booster can serve you very well in the weeks and months ahead for Rick Porcello. There's a pitch low to make it 2-1.
He said on his show that it was an upgrade for Porcello, but still would like to see more arm strength. A little more action on his pitches, a little more speed.
2-1, swing and a miss. And Jim, they say they're not trying to make too big a deal of it, but it is obvious. Even Rick Porcello addressed it after the game last night.
But that's good that he did that.
The velocity is not where he wants it. He says velocity is not the be-all, end-all, but he knows it's down from where it was last year. Curveball hit high in the air to center. Deep on the run is Jackson. It's over his head. 1 hop over the wall. It'll be a ground rule double for Kevin Kuzminoff. He drilled the breaking ball.
A hanging breaking ball, one of the few bad ones Verlander has thrown in this game. Most of the hits have been off fastballs and one off a changeup, but that was a hanger, and well, he was part of center field here, 400 feet. 1 hop against the wall, the outer wall. So another double.
4 doubles in this game among the 7 hits for the Oakland A's. 3-1 lead for the A's. The way the Tiger bats have been going in this series, every run critical. Now Justin has to find a way to strand that man at second base. Cliff Pennington bats and he takes a strike. Fastball at the knees in the outside corner. Rayburn is in and toward the line in left. Jackson shades a little bit toward left center. Bit of a breeze here at the Oakland Coliseum tonight. Hasn't really played into this game. Appears to be blowing out to right field. Pennington has walked and struck out tonight. Time called at home. Now Pennington digs back in. Switch hitter batting lefty. Fastball from Justin backs him away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers down 2 in the 6th. They have, well, the streak is intact. They've still not scored an earned run off an A starter in the 3 games.
And that is surprising. I know that the starters in this team are good, but the offense is supposed to be good too for Detroit.
Here's the 1-1. Swinging a high pop-up. Shallow left center. Jackson coming in. So is Rayburn. Jackson makes the catch. Holding at second is Kuzminoff. He's there with 2 outs now. Back to the top of the order in Coco Crisp.
April 24th. That is a Sunday. The White Sox will be in town. Of course, that's Kids Day. All kids 14 and under. You know you're going to get a Victor Martinez poster brought to you by Meyer. For tickets, you just visit Tigers.com.
Justin's fastball in the mid-90s. 95, 96 with great consistency. Pitch speeds brought to you by Comcast. Catch Detroit Tigers baseball on Comcast, home of the most live sports. Now Coco Crisp launching into right center. It's trouble. It's a base hit. Headed up the gap in right center. Rounding third. Heading home is Kuzminoff. Crisp on his way to second. He'll make it easily ahead of the throw from Bosch. Another double and another run for the Oakland A's, and they lead it 4-1 here in the 6th.
Yeah, fastball up in the zone a little bit. Coco has not been having very good swings, and that was a good swing. A gapper with that speed, easy double.
Boy, he flies, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. I mean, he got in. You would have thought at first with a normal runner.
Normal runner?
Play at second base,
yes.
But not Coco. Especially since he got his ears lowered.
Now Derek Barton bats. 5 doubles against Justin Verlander. There's a swing and a miss by Barton. Starts him off speed.
It's been a tough series for Derek Barton.
Has walked 3 times, but struck
in
out twice
all
yesterday.
of the game.
Yeah, struck out twice today, and 2 errors, giving him 5. Count them, 5 in the first 15 games. This is an above-average defensive first baseman. A pitch outside makes it 1 ball, 1 strike. Now a swing and a miss.
3 straight off-speed pitches. I like it.
Barton came in hitting .292, 8 hits for the A's. That's a surprising number, to say the least, against Justin Verlander. Big surprise.
And as hard as they've been hit.
Now breaking ball in the dirt as Justin stays off speed. 4-1. Oakland A's with the lead.
This is where Justin's been good. So the hitter sees some off-speed pitches. He's able to go up the ladder with the fastball, and we've seen some lazy fly balls or pop-ups when he does that.
Chris, the runner at second. Even with the outfield shallow, Chris' speed will likely get him home if there's a base hit. Barton waiting, the 2-2 pitch. He's swinging a fly ball into shallow left, right where Ryan Rayburn is. Shaded toward the line. He makes a catch 2 steps to his right. Barton is out, and so are the A's. But with their 5th double of the night, the most ever in a game against Justin Verlander, the A's had a run. We've played 6-4-1 Oakland on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. 7th inning, 4-1 Oakland A's. Let's pause for station identification on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. The lefty Craig Breslow is the new pitcher for the Oakland A's. Looks like we'll be mixing and matching from here on out. Maybe just 1 an inning. There's a strike to Brennan Bosch.
1/3 inning in the game last night did the job, but he's off to a tough start. 3 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, a couple walks, and a couple strikeouts for this left-hander.
The strike 1 pitch to Bosch, swing and a miss. Breaking ball away, kept sweeping away from Bosch. He couldn't find it. No balls, 2 strikes. 5 doubles by the A's against Justin Verlander. He has never allowed 5 doubles in a game until tonight. That's how unusual it is. Never happened before. The 0-2 pitch, high and away.
And you would not think it would be against the Oakland A's. Nothing against this ball club.
Well, it's
the
not a very strong offense.
Yeah, as potent as the A's folks, of course, would like it to be.
5 doubles by 5 different batters. There's the 1-2 to Bosch. Low and outside. Fastball away. Evens the count. 2-2 on Bosch. Bottom third of the order. Bosch, Inge, and Santiago against Breslow. Tigers have done all their scoring against the A's bullpen in winning the first 2 games. Now they'll have to do it again tonight if they want to come from behind, down 3 in the 7th. The pitch to Bosch, swinging a long slicing foul down the left field line, and that will get into the seats here at the Oakland Coliseum. Pretty good crowd on hand last night. A little smaller crowd tonight. 16,265 at the ballpark tonight. Attendance brought to you by Brighton Chrysler Dodge Jeep, your hometown dealer.
And they look like they're spread out, don't they? A lot of green seats that no one's sitting in.
Large pockets.
Yes.
Of empty seats. Now Bosch waiting on another 2-2. Here it comes. Fastball just off the plate. Oh boy, was that close.
He can take some close pitches when he's right. Brennan Bosch.
0 for 2 for Bosch tonight. Reached on an error his first time up. That scored the only run of the game. Scored Cabrera from third with runners at second and third. Popped out his last time up with runners at second and third. Takes a pitch outside. He walked him.
Well, this will drive Bob Guerin, the manager, crazy. Left-handed batter, left-handed pitcher, and his team's up, and he walks him.
After having him in an 0-2 hole.
Yeah. Then he brought you by the Michigan Lottery's 3 and 4. Play a hunch to win a bunch.
4-1 Oakland. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Check some other scores on the General RV scoreboard. Everything in the National League. Well, there is one game still underway. There's a strike on the outside corner. A lot of finals to pass along from the National League. Ainge is 0 for 2. He's bounced into a double play and popped out. Cubs lead the Rockies 8-3, trying to cool off the hottest team in baseball. Rockies are 11-2. There's a pitch low and inside. Brandon brought a .222 batting average into this game. Like to see some good swings over several games for Brandon. Breslow sets the 1-1. Bunt attempt, but he bunted it well foul.
Good
Third base
idea,
side.
but he bunted it towards the home dugout.
Cardinals and Dodgers are scoreless in the third. 2 rainouts. Marlins and Phillies rained out. Brewers and Nationals also rained out. Reds beat the Pirates 11-2. 4 home runs in that game for the Reds at home and a 15-hit attack. Johnny Gomes with 2 home runs. He's got 5.
Wow.
Reviving his career in Cincinnati. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Brandon swings and lifts a high, shallow fly ball to right. Coming in is DeJesus. Stops near the line, makes the catch. Bosch has to hold. 1 out, a man on. Tigers down 3 in the 7th inning, 4-1. Braves beat the Mets 4-2. The Mets are 4-10.
Ooh.
Derek Lowe with another good start. He's made several early. He's 2-2.
He's good.
4 home runs in that game for Atlanta. Astros 5-3 over the Padres. Braves are playing a doubleheader today, and they won game 2 4-0 over the Mets. So the Mets have now been swept in consecutive doubleheaders, right? Swing and a miss.
Yes.
Good changeup.
Boy.
Got swept at home by Colorado, got rained out, and now swept again.
Manager Terry Collins, Michigander, is got him feeling some heat.
4-11 start for the New York Mets. There's a pitch a little bit low. The ex-Tiger, Jair Jurgens, 7 innings of 2-hit ball.
He's a good one.
I think that might have been his first start of the year. Santiago at the plate. It's a 1-1 count. 4-1 our score. The A's on top. We're in the 7th. Man on, man out. The 1-1 pitch. Swinging a line foul over the Tigers' dugout on the first base side. Brad Thomas was throwing. Sat down. And now Brad Thomas is throwing again in the Tigers' bullpen. You wonder if Justin's day is done.
Well, if Justin was up to Justin, it wouldn't be done. But he is not the manager.
Can you ever picture him taking himself out of a game?
Nope.
Now Santiago swings and pops it foul again, out of play, arcing over the Tigers' dugout on the first base side. Still 1-2 on Santiago. Justin's had a tough night, and surprisingly so.
Absolutely. Going into this game, even though we talked about it, it's you would think the way the A's are playing and Verlander going against them, but boy, this is a game of baseball that you never know.
Bosch takes off. He's picked off. Barton's throw down to second. Got him. Picked off first, trailing by 3. Ouch.
Yeah, that'll be when he gets back to the dugout. Won't be many friends there to greet him under these conditions.
Man, oh man. Put out goes 1-3-6. The shortstop Pennington coming over. The throw from Barton was high, but he had plenty of time to get him.
Nobody there to pat him on the back. Talk about Brennan.
2 outs, base is empty. The 1-2 pitch is in the dirt from Craig Breslow to Ramon Santiago. Santiago is 0 for 2 tonight. He's hit a fly ball to center, grounded out to third. Third baseman Kuzminoff deep, a few steps off the line. The outfield plays Santiago just about straight up, with crisp shaded to right center. Tigers trying to make it 5 straight wins after a 3-7 start, but they're down 3 in the 7th. The 2-2 pitch, swinging a pop-up behind home plate. Suzuki has room, makes the catch, and that ends the Tigers' 7th inning. 7th inning stretch in Oakland, and the A's have a 4-1 lead. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball.
Say it again.
And Verlander's night is done. After 6 innings of work, he gave up 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 of which were earned, 3 walks and 6 strikeouts. And now Brad Thomas takes over in the bottom of the 7th with the A's leading 4-1.
Brad has not toed the old slab for the Tigers since the 10th against Kansas City. It's been a tough start for this left-hander. 2 1/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, a couple walks, and no strikeouts. So Brad needs to turn it around starting tonight.
Facing the 3, 4, 5 hitters, David DeJesus. Tigers just can't get him out the last 2 nights. Takes a strike. 2 for 2 plus a walk in this game. Of the 8 hits for the A's, 5 were doubles. A first against Justin Verlander. He had never allowed as many as 5 doubles in a game in his career. Lefty against lefty here. Breaking ball low and away. Jim, we've not seen the consistent good breaking ball that we saw in the spring from Brad Thomas. He really seems to be guiding it.
The curveball was good in the spring. We talked about it, that's another quality pitch for him. But now it looks like the slider we saw last year.
1-1 pitch, swinging a drive to center field, not hit hard, right to Austin Jackson. DeJesus is out number 1 in the 7th inning. 4-1, A's on top.
Dan, there's a new ruling on the Justin Verlander pitch. It wasn't a pitch. Now called a balk. Just came right from the official score. So there we go again.
They're saying change it from wild pitch. Well, it wasn't ruled a wild pitch. I'm looking at the scoreboard. It wasn't ruled a wild pitch the first time. It was ruled a wild throw.
An error
and
on
an error.
Verlander.
So they're going to take an error off the board, obviously. So I guess the awkward step off and awkward throw home was an attempt to deceive the runner at first. How is that a balk?
You know what? It's just they keep changing. They're going to confuse a lot of folks.
I thought we'd nailed it with Rule 801E.
I was going with our research department because they have all them here tonight. It's back
I think
in this little booth.
801E covered it. There's a high fly ball to right on a 1-1 pitch off the bat of Willingham. Bosch moves 2 steps to his left to make the catch. 2 up and 2 down on routine fly balls. It seemed like that rule covered it, Jim, that if you step backward, which he actually did, watch the replay, it was awkward. But if you do that and then make a wild throw to a base, whatever base that is, then it's treated like any other infielder, and he made a wild throw home after stepping off the rubber.
Well, that's what's great about baseball, the interpretation of things that happen, and then the rules that aren't rules, that some that are rules that aren't rules. You understand that?
No,
got that?
You lost me.
I'm trying to confuse everybody just like the umpires are.
Matsui takes a strike. Anyway, Rule 801E actually seemed to cover that situation, and they seemed like they had it right the first time.
I like Rule 801E. I'll always remember that rule.
Well, it's always good to have to brush up on obscure rules like that.
Well, without the research department, we'd be lost.
There's a breaking ball and a good one from Brad Thomas. 0-2 on Matsui.
That's the best breaking ball we've seen this season from him.
4-1 Oakland in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now the 0-2. Swinging a pop-up on a little slower breaking ball. Shallow center field. Jackson comes in, makes a catch, and Brad Thomas has his first easy inning of the year.
Good
and
job.
A good one.
Yes, sir.
Goes to the 3, 4, 5 hitters. They had 5 hits combined easily. After 7, though, the A's have a 4-1 lead on the Detroit Tigers radio network. A's, top of the 8th inning. Ian Dickerson and Jim Price from the Oakland Coliseum. Tigers' 4-game win streak on the line. The A's hit Justin Verlander hard tonight, and now they turn things over to Grant Belfour in the 8th.
Well, he did the job last night. He's the setup man. 1 inning, 1 strikeout overall for this hard-throwing right-hander. 5 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. Fastball, and actually last night we saw fastball, breaking ball, and a couple changeups from him, which is, I think, is a little different from what he's done before with his arsenal.
We thought he might stay in to start the 9th to face Cabrera instead of Fuentes, and I guess Bob Guerin was asked about that today, and he just, with the heavy workload his pitchers have shouldered recently, just like the idea of each one pitching an inning and no more. But he did need just 11 pitches to get through that 8th inning.
Right. We said at the time it made sense that, have him face the big guy.
Austin Jackson at the plate. He fouls off a 91-mile-an-hour fastball down the right field line out of play. Top of the order, Jackson, Rayburn, and Ordonez, a 3-run lead for the Oakland A's. Fuentes ended up throwing 37 pitches in the game last night.
That's why I would be surprised if he would be if they get through this inning, that he would be the guy to bring in.
Tyson Ross, a good candidate. He's got the live arm to perhaps close it out tonight, if need be. See if the Tigers can get to Grant Belfour here in the 8th. There's a fastball high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jackson is 0 for 2 plus a walk.
It's early in the year, and, you said it somewhat of a heavy workload, but his fastball has been in the low 90s.
It used to be mid consistently.
Yes.
Now a swing and a foul to the screen. Slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tigers started the day 2.5 behind Kansas City and Cleveland. Both the Indians and Royals won today. Both are 10-4. White Sox lost. The Twins lost. The Twins are 4-10. Just remember, though, that year that the Twins won the Central in 2006, they started the year 25-33. There's a swing and a foul to the screen, and had that incredible finish to catch the Tigers on the last day of the regular season.
They are the Minnesota Twins. Never forget that.
There have been several times in recent years where you count them out and
can't count them.
You think they're down, but they never seem to be. They're always there at the end. Their second halves are amazing. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a foul. Suzuki was asking for showing the high target. Balfour went high with the fastball. Jackson got a piece of it.
Well, his last at bat was very good at bat against Braden. A lot of all-speed pitches, fought a lot of them off, and eventually got a walk. Now he's fighting off some fastballs.
10 pitch at bat his last time up. Count still 1-2. This is the 6th pitch of this at bat. The pitch, slider off the plate away. Evens the count 2-2. Rayburn and Ordonez to follow. The Tigers are down 3. We're in the 8th. Tigers did all their scoring in the 7th and 8th inning in game 1. All their scoring in the 9th and 10th innings yesterday to win 8-4. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging a fly ball to center. Fairly deep, but going back, stopping is crisp. He'll make the catch. 1 up and 1 down.
Yeah, Death Valley right about this time of night. This is brought to you by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Put it in D and you see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
At nighttime, Jim, I think all we've seen so far is that the ball does carry to right center if you hit it hard.
Yeah, especially your name is Miguel Cabrera.
And Ryan Rayburn.
That's right. That's it.
It's it. It doesn't seem to go to any other part of the ballpark. Guess you got to hit line drive doubles like the A's did tonight.
They had it working.
Rayburn is 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts, a line out. Good swing his last time. He takes a fastball from Balfour. Strike 1 on the outside corner. Kuzman off at third, even with the bag. Rest of the infield back. The outfield straight up, as they are most of the time. Crisp moves a couple of steps, but really that's about it. From the full windup, Balfour delivers. Ground ball hit hard and passed. A diving Pennington in left field. A sharp single for Ryan Rayburn with 1 out in the 8th. See if the Tigers can get a couple of men on for Miguel Cabrera.
Boy, he lined out his last time out. Swung the bat good in the 5th inning, and now another sharp swing by Ryan. Got the barrel of the bat out in front, and that normally works.
Offense has been going in fits and starts throughout the week. It really started with a Bruce Chen start last Saturday in Detroit.
Yes, it did.
And there was shutout on Monday by Alexi Ogando. I had to scrape out a 3-2 win before coming to the coast. There's a strike on the outside corner. Thanks to some wildness, managed to score 3 runs in game 1 of this series, and thanks to some errors, managed to score 8 last night, but only 1 through 9 innings.
Yeah, the A's definitely helped those first 2 victories by Detroit.
Strike 1 on Ordonez. Maglio is 1 for 3. 2 routine bounce outs and a line drive single. He bounces this one softly to third. Charging Kuzminoff. Backhands on the grass. His only play is to first. A little bit high, but Barton grabs it. Down to second goes Rayburn. On the slow tapper, he's there with 2 outs in a 4-1 game for Miguel Cabrera. Kuzminov has a rather unusual delivery over to first, doesn't he, Jim?
He does, yes. And it almost looks like he's guiding the ball. But his reputation is good.
Heck, he went through a couple years ago, Jim. He made 3 errors.
Yes.
3 errors.
That's
at the hot corner playing full time.
That's impossible, actually.
That just doesn't
How'd
happen.
that happen?
Now Cabrera bats 1 for 2 plus a walk. First pitch from Balfour misses the mark. Ball 1. 4-1. Oakland with the lead in the 8th. With every strikeout by a Tigers pitcher in this game, $100 will be deposited to the University of Toledo Scholarly Savings Account. University of Toledo. More ways to create your future. 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Tigers. There's a pitch low and outside. 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Oakland A's. And Jim, they still have not taken the second error off the scoreboard. And if they've changed it from a wild throw to a balk, it should be just 1 error, right?
I would agree, but I think they're going to keep confusing everybody until they have a meeting after the game and get it straightened out. I want you there for that meeting, too.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Give me a report.
2-0 on Cabrera. The next pitch low and outside. Balfour doesn't look particularly interested in pitching to him, but if he puts him on, it brings a potential tying run to the plate.
You're asking for trouble.
3-0 on Cabrera. Victor Martinez has had 2 good swings tonight, single and a double. 3-0 on Cabrera. Rayburn at second. The pitch from Balfour, low and outside. He did not come close to throwing him a strike. And the Tigers get the potential tying run to the plate.
Very interesting. You know, there's a time not to pitch to a hitter, and there is a time that you got to take some chances. They didn't want to do it, apparently.
Ron Romanek out to the mound, the new pitching coach for the Oakland A's. Kind of strange not to see Kurt Young, the Michigan native, making his way out to the mound now in Boston.
Sure is. And he'll get that pitching staff turned around in Boston.
There's too much talent.
The resumes tell you that.
Buchholz, Lester, Lackey, and Beckett. Beckett's made 2 very good starts in a row. Lester's off to a good start. Buchholz off to a bit of a rough start. And I think they're a little puzzled right now by Lackey. And the stuff doesn't appear to be the same.
The reports were last year that the velocity's down, and apparently it's down again this year. And he got a lot of money.
Yes, he did. And this is only the second year of that lot of money contract.
He's a happy man.
Well, Tigers with a chance with 1 swing of the bat to tie this game. First pitch to Victor Martinez. A strike on the outside corner.
Well, you just never know, and you would think the A's would get their bullpen busy with this inning. The way it is.
Boy, that pitch looked low and outside, but it's been a little bit inconsistent for John Hirschbeck behind the plate. Balfour, if you're thinking 1 swing of the bat, he gave up just 3 home runs in his 55 innings last year for Tampa.
And Martinez lifetime 2 for 5 against Balfour.
Peralta waiting on deck. Heck, the Tigers will just take a hit to get a run home. Outfield is very deep. Fastball low and outside. They're in the no doubles look, so even deeper than they've been playing. And they've been playing fairly deep all 3 games. But Willingham in left, Crisp in center, and especially DeJesus in right. All about 15 feet, it looks like, in front of the warning track. Yes. 15, 20 feet.
If they have to go back for a ball, they don't have far to go.
Ball over their head is going to be gone.
Yes.
Martinez batting lefty against the righty, the 1-1 pitch. A little bit low. Getting interesting now. Martinez has a good hitter's count, 2-1. Rayburn at second, Cabrera at first, and the Tigers are down 3. We're in the 8th. Kurt Suzuki wants to go out to talk over this very big pitch with Balfour.
Dan, I'm Florida. This Fuente's throwing in the bullpen right now for the A's. Wow.
And think about it, Jim. That means that Bob Guerin's willing to bring him in the 8th. You think he would have been willing to let Balfour pitch 1 out into the 9th last night?
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
You would think if he brings Fuentes in now, he's in to close the game. You get the last out here and go into the ninth, you would think.
Oh, this is strange.
Conversation over. Suzuki back behind home plate. Tigers offense has been quiet all night. 1 unearned run. That's their total against A's pitching tonight. See if Martinez can deliver a big 2-out hit. Balfour takes a long look in, and Martinez asks for time, and he gets it. Boy, Balfour has brought things to a halt here out on the mound.
Not trusting his stuff and get the feeling that he's throwing a lot of breaking balls. Fastball is low 90s.
2 on, 2 outs. Tigers down 3, 4-1 in the 8th.
Man.
And again, Martinez asks and gets time. Balfour is just, he's not on the same page with Suzuki at all. And again, Suzuki goes out for another visit at the mound. We have not seen a pitch since the last time he went out to the mound.
And normally, when you go out to the mound, because I've been there, say, okay, what are we going to throw? You do in zone and the pitch.
And then you usually don't have the guy step off twice after that?
Right. But what you do is you have to give the signs to let the infielders know. And apparently he changed his mind by the time he gets back to home plate, talking about Balfour.
Now Martinez waiting and Balfour's ready. 2-1 pitch. Bounced up to home plate. Well, that's a great example of what you're talking about. Throw a pitch with conviction. He clearly did not have conviction behind that pitch.
No, absolutely not. That ball bounced in front of the plate. A heck of a block, even though it's a changeup. That's a tough pitch to block for a catcher.
Well, this is interesting. Something has changed in the mound demeanor for Grant Balfour. Mowed through the Tigers 1-2-3 in the 8th inning last night. Had a terrific year with Tampa last year. And now a 3-1 count on Victor Martinez. 2 on, 2 outs. Outfield deep all around. A lot of acreage in front of those outfielders for a base hit to fall in. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a foul over the screen. There's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and Martinez couldn't get around on it.
Oh, he was tied up. Where did that come from? That's the first we've seen that.
First above 91.
Yes.
Rayburn at second, Cabrera at first. They'll be off with the pitch. It'll be a 3-2 pitch to Victor Martinez, who's got a couple of hits tonight. The only Tiger with 2 hits. They only have 5. Balfour again steps off. Now he leans in, puts the glove way down by the left shin, leans in, ball behind the back. Now time called.
Wow. I think
Hurt
a ball
Suzuki.
got away from the bullpen.
Yep.
What else? What else? Man.
Rolled all the way to the left field wall. Fortunately, that's right where Willingham was anyway.
Isn't that far to go?
This has been one long at-bat. There've only been 5 pitches, but it's been a long at-bat. Victor Martinez digs back in, taps home plate, trying to deliver a big 2-out hit. Grant Balfour sets 3-2. Runners go, swinging a foul out of play. Well back third base side, and we will reset.
Nothing but fastballs. That one was in the low 90s. A little cutting action on it.
Martinez doubled off of Dallas Braden. His first time up, ripped it down into the left field corner, and then a sharp single in the 6th inning off the lefty Breslin, or that was off Ziegler, wasn't it? Batting from the left side, a line to the left. Never did hear why Braden left the game after 5.
No, we didn't.
We just assume he wasn't feeling well, and that's just the assumption. Balfour gets the sign, he's ready. Runners go, 3-2 pitch, ground ball to first. Barton scoops it off a shoe-top's underhand flip to Balfour covering. Martinez is out. The Tigers threaten, but do not score. We go to the bottom of the 8th in Oakland, 4-1 A's. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. It's the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Oakland A's trying to take their first game in this series after the Tigers won the first 2. They have a 4-1 lead. Enrique Gonzalez is the new pitcher for the Tigers.
Well, he, like Brad Thomas, hasn't pitched since the 10th of this month. It's been a tough start for this right-hander. Also 2 2/3, 5 hits, and 5 earned runs off his slants from the right side.
pitcher who can wow you one moment and then the next puzzle you. There's a pitch up and in, and he just about hit Suzuki with the first pitch at the bottom of the 8th.
Very close. Catchers get hit enough behind the plate.
Suzuki had to spin out of the way, and the ball popped out of the glove of Victor Martinez. A's scored 3 runs in the 4th inning after the Tigers took an early 1-0 lead on an unearned run. An error by Derek Barton. His second of the series, second in 2 nights, gave the Tigers a 1-0 lead, but 3 doubles and an error produced a run, an extra run, and it was 3-1 A's in the 4th inning. All the doubles off of Justin Verlander, 2 more doubles in the 6th inning. Added the final run for Oakland. A foul back our way off the bat of Suzuki, and it's now 2-1.
Now it's interesting, Dan. There's nobody throwing in the pen for the A's. Now I don't know if Fuentes is warmed up and ready to go, or what the story. If Balfour's coming back out. How about you? What do you think?
Well, I'm confused based on Guerin's comments after the game last night. There's a foul out of play that he didn't want to use Balfour for more than an inning, and that's why he didn't start the 9th at least.
Well, Fuentes is already loose, so if he gets back up after 1 out or 2 outs, you know he's coming in.
He did throw 37 pitches last night, and Balfour only threw 11. There's a fastball up and in. But you don't picture Balfour very often, Jim, going 2 innings to close out a game. I don't think we've ever seen that.
No, I'd be surprised if that was the case. But we're seeing things here that are a little bit different, to say the least.
4-1 Oakland. 3-2 on the leadoff man Suzuki. The pitch swinging a high pop-up foul on the third base line. Brandon Inge coming over, leaps by the stands and didn't make the catch. What an attempt by Brandon Inge. There's a little bit of a ledge right in front of the stands. He tried to leap over it and he just missed.
Well, you know Brandon, he thinks he can get everything, and he almost did get it. He dove and came very close to making the catch. Good thing there's padding there where he landed. He gives it a try like nobody else all the time. He's quick as a cat.
What an attempt. Still 3-2 on Suzuki. Right-handed batter against the righty. The 3-2 from Gonzalez. Fastball up and in. He walked it. I think Brandon Inge would like playing in this ballpark. I mean, just from the pure standpoint defensively, that he'd get to do a whole lot of running in foul territory.
Oh, yeah. He's made for this ballpark.
Ryan Sweeney will pinch hit for Andy LaRoche. 4-1 A's are in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tigers' 4-game win streak on the line. They've never won 5 in a row at the Oakland Coliseum.
Al Fuentes is coming out of the bullpen for the A's to start throwing again. So there he is.
Peralta, Bosch, and Inge, the scheduled batters for the Tigers in the 9th. Sweeney, the pinch hitter, takes a pitch high and outside. We saw him as a pinch hitter in the game last night. And a sharp single to left field. It was part of a 3-run rally for the A's, but they came up well short in the 8-4 Tigers win. Jim Leland was talking about that being kind of a learning moment for Brian Villarreal. An unusual situation for him. He had a big lead. He doesn't want to walk anybody, so he's trying to throw strikes. But the learning moment is you don't just throw the ball over the plate. You still have to throw quality strikes. And Jim Leland just felt it's just kind of one of those learning moments because he gave up 3 sharp singles and came out of the game and was charged with 3 runs.
Well, let's face it. When you first come up here and you have success, you say, "Well, man, I got it going." But then you have to have some. You have to be go through the school of hard knocks a little bit to learn some things.
Now the pitch to Sweeney, swing and a miss. 1-2 on Sweeney. Still an awful lot to like about Brian Villarreal. Al Albuquerque certainly had people talking after his debut.
He was lights out with that breaking ball of his.
Martinez setting up inside. The pitch to Sweeney, swinging a foul down the left field line, out of play. Interesting talk with Dick Egan, the Tigers super scout, about Al Albuquerque. we both kind of wondered. I mean, here's a guy who had a 4.98 ERA, Double-A last year, and Dick Egan went down to take a look in the Dominican Winter Ball League and said teams were lining up to try to sign Al Albuquerque,
Sure.
and the Tigers just got in under the wire before some other teams. Here's the 1-2 pitch, ground ball fouled on the first base line.
Well, winter ball, can change things. I played winter ball 2 years, and you see a lot. It's good baseball. Venezuela, Dominican. I mean, it's tough. Mixture of some, not as many big leaguers, proven big leaguers as there used to be, but so many times players from their country are kind of talked into playing for their hometown team.
Gonzalez will turn and throw over to first. A little lob, really. Suzuki Banks standing up. Tigers down 3. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cubs closed out the Rockies. 8-3 was the final in Colorado. The 1-2 pitch, line foul, a little deeper down the left field line. Sweeney giving Gonzalez a battle. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. The leadoff man is on here in the 8th. The only other game in progress, the Cardinals lead the Dodgers 2-1. That game's in the bottom of the 5th inning at Dodger Stadium. Very short lead for Suzuki at first. Middle of the infield, Peralta and Santiago in double play depth. Martinez setting up inside. The 1-2 pitch, line drive down the right field line. Fair ball into the corner. Suzuki around second, heading to third. They're waving him around third. The relay from the outfield will not be in time. The throw to third base is not in time either. RBI triple for Sweeney, and the A's widen their lead. 5-1 now here in the 8th.
Well, low ball hitter, that's where it was, and it was a rocket. And big run. Every run you add on late in the game when your team is up is big, and that was, of course, a big run. Boy,
And
big
they do
hit last night, Dan. Another one here tonight.
They do score a triple. Thought they might say double.
I think it really should be a double. The way he was trotting into second base, and then when he saw the relay coming home, he put it in another gear.
Now Kuzminoff at the plate. Right-handed batter against the righty. A swing and a miss. Infield drawn in tight. 5-1 lead for Oakland. The pitch from Gonzalez is low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
No excuses, but has not pitched since the 10th. Brad Thomas had the same situation, but he got through the 7th inning. And some pitchers do your throwing in between and try to stay sharp, but it's tough.
1-1 pitch, swinging a fly ball to center, deep enough to get the run home. Jackson back to his left, makes the catch, tagging and trotting home Sweeney. 6-1 A's on the sacrifice fly from Kevin Kuzminoff.
Got a ball he could elevate, and he did.
Verlander started, went the first 6, gave up 4 runs, 3 of which were earned. 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Brad Thomas worked a scoreless 8th inning, his best inning of the year.
Good to see that.
Yeah, he needed a good inning,
yes.
Good breaking balls in that inning, Jim.
Yes. The best breaking ball. A couple really good curveballs this time.
And 3 routine fly balls off the bats of the A's, who've been stinging the ball throughout the night. Cliff Pennington takes a strike. He's 0 for 2 plus a walk. 6-1 A's in the bottom of the 8th. Strike 1 pitch. Slider just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fuentes is now sat down. He's either ready or they might go to somebody else since it's no longer a save situation.
Well, if they go to somebody else, they must be trying underneath the stands.
They should be up and throwing. 1-2 on Pennington. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball chopped foul down the first base line. Afternoon game tomorrow here at the Oakland Coliseum before the Tigers head up the coast. 3-game series in Seattle starts on Monday. 2 night games and a day game against the Seattle Mariners. Brad Penny starts for the Tigers tomorrow against Trevor Cahill. He had the new contract with the Oakland A's.
He's happy.
1 o'clock start locally. We're on the air at 3:40 on the Michigan Detroit Tigers radio network. Slow ground ball to third. Brandon Inge on the grass. Easy toss over to first. 2 down. Base is empty. 2 in, 6-1. A's on top. Seattle Mariners are having a very tough time. The offense has been quiet. That's going to be a continuing issue for manager Eric Wedge this year.
It really will be. And when Hernandez gets beat up, that's normally you say, hey, here's a game, pound out a run or two, maybe you can win. But you're playing the Royals.
Seattle's off to a 4-11 start. A pitch in the dirt to Coco Crisp, who is 1 for 4 tonight. Scherzer against Vargas on Monday. Koch against Pfister on Tuesday. And Rick Porcello against Eric Bedard on Wednesday. There's a strike. A fastball. Eric Bedard trying to make a comeback and has not been good so far.
They missed their the 2 top guys, and that's a break.
Now an off-speed pitch in the dirt. Rookie Michael Pineda's made a couple of good starts. And Felix Hernandez. Those are really the top 2 pitchers right now for Seattle. There's a strike that grabs the outside corner. 2-2 on Coco Crisp. 6-1, A's with the lead. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball, second base. Charging Santiago, scoops it off the dirt. Quick toss over to Cabrera. Crisp is out, and so are the A's, but they add 2. We're headed to the 9th. 5-run lead for Oakland. 6-1 on the Detroit Tigers radio network.
There's a grass seed company spreading rumors.
Ninth inning, Grant Balfour is still on the mound, and Johnny Peralta will lead things off with the Tigers down 5.
Well, Bob Guerin, the manager, he's interesting how he handles things. Last night, we talked about it in a key situation leading off the inning, and the Balfour pitched to against Cabrera. That mean he wouldn't have hit a home run, but instead he went with his closer, and the reason was the workload. Didn't want him to pitch more than 1 inning. So tonight, the game 6-1. He keeps him in for 2 innings. Now, go figure.
A little bit puzzling. There's a pitch high and outside, and he doesn't really look like he has his good stuff tonight either. Last night, he needed just 11 pitches to get through the 8th. Tonight, he needed 22 pitches to get through the 8th inning. There's a swing and a miss. There's a good fastball, but again, it's kind of a low 90s fastball tonight.
It is, and once in a while a little cutting action, but other than that, not much movement.
Well, maybe just figured he was going to be out of the mix tomorrow anyway. Might as well get 1 more inning, but we really don't see Grant Balfour use 2 innings very often. There's an off-speed pitch inside.
No, but, he's got a little different arsenal now with the breaking ball and the changeup, which I don't think he used a lot the other times that we saw him with Tampa and even with the Twins.
Peralta, Bosch, and Inge to face him here in the 9th. The Tigers are down 5. Peralta swings and fouls it out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The only Tigers run. They really did have a couple of very good opportunities against Dallas Braden. Came in the 2nd inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Bosch hit a ground ball to first. Derek Barton threw home and threw it away. And that's the only run for the Tigers.
Yeah, they had, you're right, a couple of good opportunities, but Braden was good.
2-2 pitch. Line drive into left, a base hit. Tigers have their leadoff man on in the 9th, trailing by 5.
Well, just a little flare, but got a base hit. This inning brought you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, the professional auto parts people. Well, there'll be a little stirring in that bullpen there. I mean, the way Bob Guerin's playing this, will pull out, you would think, all the stops, get 3 outs.
Nobody warming in that bullpen right now. Brendan Bosch at the plate. 0 for 2 plus a walk, and he got picked off after he drew the walk in the 7th. Tigers down 5, need base runners. Pitch way outside. Off-speed pitch floated away, brought Suzuki up out of his crouch. He had to move to his left to grab it. Couple of base runners. Turn this lineup one more time. Things could get interesting here in Oakland. Need some more base runners, though. A pitch outside. And it's now 2-0 on Bosch.
And the bullpen will get busy.
Inge waiting on deck. Ron Romanek will head out to the mound. Is it going to be Fuentes one more time?
Yes.
This is the third time he's been up warming up. Third time.
Yeah, this is just, different managers do different things, and I would say a little unorthodox here.
I know he's just the fill-in closer for Howard Bailey, but you almost never see a closer get up 3 different times.
Yeah, that'll wear him out.
Again, Fuentes did throw a lot of pitches in the game last night. 37 pitches.
But his style of pitching, he's not a power pitcher, so he's got to be crafty, hit his spots. And I'm sure they checked with him. You okay?
Yeah.
Can you give me an inning? Can you give me an out? One bat or whatever.
Conversation over. 2-0 the count on Bosch. See if the Tigers can make things interesting here in the ninth. The 2-0 pitch. Outside, not close. He hasn't been close with any one of these pitches. 3-0 on Bosch. Inge waiting on deck. Wouldn't think it'd take Fuentes long to get ready.
Oh, I would say he's ready.
Well, Balfour ready. 3-0, not close. Wow, yeah. Jim. He just missed as badly as you can miss with 4 pitches outside of an intentional walk.
And there aren't many folks here, and they're not happy. I mean, this is strange.
Just missed as badly as you can miss with 4 pitches. He looks like he is tired, Jim. And
yeah.
I mean, those were tired pitches right there. And Suzuki's going to go out maybe to buy time. Do you bring Fuentes in, a lefty, to face the righty? We'll see.
Well,
here comes Bob Guerin.
When a pitcher pushes the ball like he did, I mean, he's
you
out
have
of
to
gas.
make the change.
Yeah.
Well, puzzling moves again, not made by manager Bob Guerin, and the A's will go to their bullpen. A couple of men on, nobody out in the ninth, and Brian Fuentes will come in to try to get these final 3 outs. 6-1 A's. While the A's make the change, we'll pause for these words on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. New pitch for the Oakland A's. 2 on, none out. 9th inning. Tigers down 5.
Well, inning of 3rd last night. Gave up the big home run, of course, to Cabrera to tie up the ball game. 2 hits, 6 runs, only 3 earned, 3 walks, and a strikeout. He does have 5 saves, 8 innings overall, 6 hits and 5 earned runs, 7 strikeouts and 4 walks.
Brandon Inge, the first batter to face him. Tigers still need base runners. First pitch, low and inside. And again, even though he does have, Jim, the kind of arm that you would think can handle the workload, still 37 pitches is a lot, and some guys need another day before they can bounce back. We'll see how it affects Fuentes. Here's the 1-0 pitch. High and outside, 2-0. Crowd getting a little restless. They just saw Balfour miss as badly as you can miss with 4 pitches to Brendan Bosch. That put 2 men on with nobody out. Fuentes works third base side of the rubber. Inge waiting on a 2-0 pitch. On the way. Strike. In above the knees on the inside corner.
Well, we mentioned this before. Every time he pitches, not a hard thrower. Some deception with the short arm delivery, kind of a hesitated short arm delivery. Breaking ball. All speed pitches.
Brandon hitless in the series. He's 0 for 9 with 3 walks. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Couldn't find the fastball. 2-2. Ramon Santiago is waiting on deck. 6-1 A's. We're in the 9th. 2-2 pitch. High and outside. 3-2. Oh, we'd love to see the bases loaded. Turn the lineup over after Santiago. See what happens. 2 on and nobody out. Tigers down 5. 3-2 the count on Brandon Inge. Fuentes sets. Checks the runner. Peralta. The pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Playable first base side. Barton comes over. Makes the catch. 1 out in the 9th.
Boy, that's not the swing you were looking for in this situation. Looked like a guided swing.
2 on, 1 out for Ramon Santiago. Need 2 more base runners to bring the potential tying run to the plate. Rayburn has had some success in his career against Fuentes, and we know about Cabrera's success against Fuentes. Still a few batters away, though, from Cabrera. More base runners needed. Santiago takes a pitch high and outside. And this is Fuentes even at his best. He'll drive you crazy just a little bit if you're an A's fan or when he was with the Angels.
Not the lights-out closer that teams like to have.
5 for 5 before last night. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strike on the outside corner. 1-1 on Santiago, who's 0 for 3 tonight. A bounce out, a fly out, and he's popped out. Ramon 2 for 7 in the series. He had the only good swings against Gio Gonzalez 2 nights ago. Batting righty against the lefty. 1-1 pitch, swinging a foul out of play.
Well, that's what he will do. He'll go away, and get you to expand the strike zone. And that pitch was, I would say, well off the plate.
2 runs for the A's in the bottom of the 8th. They're sure looking big right now. Crisp in center, shades to right center. The outfield normal depth on Santiago. Peralta's at second. Bosch is at first. The 1-2 from Fuentes, way inside, has Santiago jackknifing out of the way. He evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
One of those pitchers that will just throw enough inside to put it in the back of the hitter's mind.
Fuentes works way over, third base side of the rubber. Tucks the glove in as he gets the sign. Now he sets, holds the glove below the belt. 2-2 pitch. Off speed, high and away, and once again, a 3-2 count on a Tigers batter. 1 pitch away from a bases loaded situation, but we saw that with Brandon Inge, and he popped out. 3-2 on Santiago, 2 on, 1 out in the 9th. Tigers trying to break through against Fuentes, make things interesting at the very least. 3-2 pitch. Whoa, and inside he walked him, and now things are getting interesting here in Oakland.
This is absolutely amazing what we're seeing from a pitching staff, a bullpen, I should say, that was highly regarded coming into this series. I'm just not sure if it was they've been managed the right way.
That brings up Austin Jackson, top of the order. Rayburn waiting on deck. Bases are loaded. 1 more base runner, and you get the potential tying run to the plate. Austin tonight 0 for 3. First pitch. Outside, ball 1. Nice to see ball 1 on Austin Jackson. He's been behind in every at-bat in this game, either 0-2 or 1-2. Can he deliver a big hit and bring the potential tying run to the plate? The Tigers are down 5. 1 out in the 9th. Bases loaded. 1-0 pitch. Strike on the outside corner at the belt.
You know, it's interesting. There's nobody throwing in the pen for the A's.
This is it.
This is, you know, sometimes that your closer just doesn't have it.
And you would think both Balfour and Fuentes will be out of action tomorrow.
I don't know about Fuentes anymore after coming back tonight.
Jackson waiting on a 1-1 pitch. Here it comes. Outside corner. Oh, man. Oh, man. Austin Jackson can't quite believe it.
I can't either. That's
Oh,
a
boy.
brutal call.
Come
Way
on.
off the plate. Not even close.
Never sniffed home plate. And instead of 2-1, it's 1-2. Wow, that's a big call in a big situation. I mean, that's
a horrible call.
Pitch tracker on our monitor clearly showed it out of the strike zone, but you could just tell it from our vantage point. Well, now Jackson's got to swing. The 1-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball right side, backhanded by Barton, throws down to second, one, and they just get Santiago. Into score comes Peralta. Barton threw it high, and the shortstop Pennington snow-coned it when he landed on second base. A simple force. Runners at the corners, 6-2 for Ryan Rayburn.
Well, they got to run, but you're looking for something more than that with this situation.
Boy, Jim, that call on 1-1 changes
that's
obviously the whole at bat.
Sure,
Jackson had to swing at that pitch.
Just horrible.
Wow, you hate to complain about balls and strikes, but in key situations.
Well, it is a fact. I mean, when they're that bad, you got to talk about it.
Tigers down to their last out. Ryan Rayburn at the plate. First pitch, a little bit high. Rayburn's had good swings his last two at-bats. 6-2, Oakland in the lead. Bosch is the runner at third. Jackson at first. Suzuki setting up outside. The pitch from Fuentes. A strike on the outside corner.
Well, he'll take what the umpire will give him. I mean, you can't blame him. He's going to call the pitch off the plate away. Why change? Keep going there.
1-1, the count on Rayburn. Ordonez waits on deck. The 1-1 pitch. Strike on the inside corner. Ryan was backing out of the way. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So surprised to see a ball in the inner half of the plate. Like I said, he will do that occasionally to keep you honest.
Tigers down to their last strike. Rayburn 1 for 4 tonight. Lined out, though, in his third at-bat. A line single his last at-bat. See if he can keep this ninth inning alive. Fuentes sets. A 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Ryan lays off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers trying to at least get that potential tying run to the plate. They need another base runner. 2-2 the count on Rayburn. Fuentes sets. Suzuki setting up outside. The pitch is swinging a foul out of play. Jackson was off of the pitch. He was going to take second base since they're playing behind him. Rayburn still has life. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 hits in the series. One a big one, helped deliver the win in game 1. And a single his last time up. Outfield plays him straight up. Normal depth. Fuentes ready. The 2-2 pitch again. Swinging a fly ball to center. He hit it hard. Going back is Crisp onto the warning track. Backpedaling. Makes the catch 1 step away from the fence.
Oh, he gave it a try. Oh, man.
Rayburn hit it hard. And Crisp tracked it down. And the A's have their first win of the series. The final score at the Oakland Coliseum. The Oakland A's 6 and the Detroit Tigers 2. It comes to an end in Oakland. Justin Verlander trips for 4 runs in this game. Oakland A's bats coming alive, pounding out 5 doubles. First time ever that Justin Verlander giving up 5 doubles in a game. And the A's go on to the 6-2 win. Tigers fall to 7-8 with a loss. The A's improve to 7-8 with a win. We're back to talk about it after this on the Detroit. Well, it's time for our stat of the game, brought to you by Dunham's. Get in the game at Dunham's. And our stat of the game tonight will be 2, because that's the number of runs the Tigers scored in this game. And outside of a 7-run 10th inning where the A's helped the Tigers out yesterday, the Tigers have had a tough time scoring runs for the last week, going back to last Saturday at Comerica Park. The Tigers only scored 1 in regulation yesterday and 3 thanks to 11 walks. in the opener of this series. They were shut out on Monday and had just one run last Saturday against Bruce Chen and the Royals. So the offense is a concern right now for the Tigers. They lose this one by the final of 6-2. Our player of the game is brought to you by Parkway Chrysler Jeep Dodge on Hall Road in Clinton Township. And could have been Dallas Braden tonight. He certainly set the tone for this game. He left. We still don't know why. After 5 innings, he only allowed 1 unearned run. But David DeJesus, he's going to get our player of the game. 2 hits tonight. He had 3 in the game yesterday, and his double touched off a 3-run 4th inning against Justin Verlander. 3 consecutive doubles to start the inning. And Justin went on to give up 5 doubles, something he'd never done before in a Tigers uniform, 5 doubles in one game. 6-2, A's win it. The Tigers fall a game below the 500 mark. Still have a chance to take a 4-game series on the road. That's no small thing. We'll be back with more after this on the Detroit Tigers. Our big hit of the game brought to you by McDonald's and the new 20-piece chicken McNugget for $4.99. Wasn't one particular hit that stuck out in this game. What did stick out was the 5 doubles, all sharply hit off the bats of the Oakland A's today. The first time Justin Verlander had ever allowed 5 doubles in one game. And the contact was hard for the most part by Justin Verlander, who wasn't at his best, as we saw the last couple of starts, even in the start against the Yankees. Just not at his sharpest tonight. He gave up 8 hits in his 6 innings of work. Still a quality start with 4 runs and only 3 of those runs earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, but just not the same Justin Verlander we had seen in the previous 2 outings. And there was no big hit for the Tigers as the offense again was very quiet. RBI leaders brought to you by Northwood University. To discover a leader in you, visit northwood.edu. The only RBI of the night belonged to Austin Jackson, who bounced out with the bases loaded in the 9th inning in a 6-1 game. That brought home a run, and that was the only RBI of the night. The only other runs scoring on a Brennan Bosch ground ball that was misplayed by Derek Barton with runners at 2nd and 3rd back in the 2nd inning. Tigers had chances in the 2nd and 4th innings, but could not push more than just the 1 unearned run across against Dallas Braden. Tigers lose 6-2, fall to 7-8. The 4-game win streak comes to an end. We're back with more after this on the Detroit Tigers.